From Atlanta, Fulton County.
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
Purple color, I see. Then you maintain the status.
December 7th, 19...
I'm gonna question a psychopath.
I love you so badly,
I got named.
You gotta show him some love, you gotta show him some green. The world's gone crazy and it's so obscene. You gotta know where to hide in the big machine. Say it sounds like TV on the radio, so push that sound. I wanna hear it in stereo. Do what you want, it's the will of the people. Nothing holds you back on that online radio. Ain't no love tonight in this city, and here I thought that.
All right, we're here. We did it.
Tell you what, man, that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
That song is the hook, my friend.
Some might say it's the best part of the podcast.
Yeah. It might be, but it's good. It's at the, it's at the top. It's a great introductory song. That's one of the backbones of the show.
Truly debate abound about whether it's the best part of the show, though. Welcome in, everybody. Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm Keith Pazel. This is my podcast. We're here. We're going to watch TV. We're going to talk about the world through what is on television and the events they're about. There's actually had a Justice League movie.
True.
There's the NCAA Tournament.
True.
What else? It was what did Equalizer featuring Queen Latifah is the number one show on television?
Equalizer. There we go. Exactly. Also, of course, the tragedy of the week, of course, was the murders at the Atlanta massage parlors.
Yeah.
And then also massage parlors in general taking on the chin with Deshaun Watson, who you were pining for a month and a half ago. A month and a half ago, you literally like a little kid. You were like Bob Costas talking about Mickey Mantle and thinking about the Bears potentially getting Deshaun Foster.
I was.
Oh my God, they're going to write
Foster?
Exactly. Former running back for the Carolina Panthers, Deshaun Foster
Let's
from
get
Santa
off Harry
Ana.
Potter here. Let's go to this. Speaking of said NCAA tournament,
but it's good Watson has been was arrested.
Let's hear what the TV sounds like with effects.
For sexual. Oh my God, they're gonna. Gonzaga is by far the best team.
Everything calculated.
It sounds old timey.
It does.
It's not. It's just sound. I've figured this out. All right. Got my show interrupted.
It's all good, man. We're in this together.
Oh, I know. But here's the goal. If here's the plan. If it does get interrupted, I could show this on Facebook. Only YouTube copyright stuff.
Huh.
It's interesting. It's an interesting fact I figured out.
Yeah. That model. It's the modern media. It's incredible. It's incredible, I say. It's incredible. But no, Deshaun Watson, I want to get back to my point on that. He's had several sexual assault claims filed against him. Right? Has he been arrested? Do you know?
No, and he might even just go unscathed because it's the NFL. Like I don't even think people are talking about it. So I got a text in the group chat like, oh yeah, 22 people have accused him of doing the basic dong out. Like it's there, you might as well touch it.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And apparently he's done it.
Dong out.
He's done it as early as this month.
Ooh, he was still. So he's been.
He celebrated the trade rumors by going to it's a massage therapist.
Well, I'm telling you, that's got to be like. I bet you this is all part of the whole thing.
Here, I'm going to fade out. Keep talking. I'm going to fix your camera.
After, I think this is all part of his. I mean, probably management's plan to smear his character, to lower his trade value, maybe get him out of the league.
That does seem like some Christian shit.
Or
because they're run by a Christian.
Well, also just
Jack Easterby.
Yet also trying to make like a business decision. I mean
Gonzaga is thumping fucking Norfolk State.
Well, yeah, Gonzaga's great.
We'll just do a quick score by.
That's all good, man.
Quick score by.
Yeah, the Big Ten took it on the chin yesterday.
Texas and Abigail Christian, ACU.
Abilene Christian.
Abilene.
So this is a Texas matchup.
In the episode of Deadwood where they're trying to fucking frame when Wild Bill Hickok gets fucking murdered, and they're trying to frame the murder, and they tell the guy, no, you had a brother from Abilene. I had a brother from Abilene.
Wow. Yeah, wasn't that just a great show?
It was
one
fantastic.
of my favorite shows of all time. And no doubt about it. As far as episodic, Ian McShane in that is so good. Swearingen is so good. He's just such a hard ass. You know, I heard each of those episodes cost $3 million to make.
Yeah, they were like small movies. That's essentially why they canceled it, because they were like, it costs too much money for it to make.
Absolutely. That guy who wrote on the Hill Street Blues. And was also
doing
a
my
frat
3-inch
brother.
rule. This is my 3-inch rule, and also the smell my fingers.
Okay.
Learning mic
Fuck
technique.
yeah, man. There you go. Fuck yeah. Texas is pretty good. Shaka Smart coaches them from Madison, Wisconsin.
That sounds like a warlord.
Yeah, Shaka Smart. Exactly. Like some sort of East Asian, maybe, like a warlord, maybe. Shaka Smart.
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely.
A certain like.
It looks like it's a floating tiki coaching a basketball team.
Well, I was thinking one of those like samurai helmets. You know what I mean? Those like very dramatic looking samurai helmets. But again, I watched yesterday my University of Wisconsin-Madison, my alma mater, where I graduated from in 1991, 30 years ago, which is terrifying.
30 years ago is the new 15 years ago. That's what they say. You know what I'm saying here?
30 years ago feels like... Hey. I like the sound effects. And
tail it down, let you tell your story.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, it. Yeah, what was I talking about with college basketball? What was I talking about with
that you're feeling young and spry, and that you could be out there with the boys?
No,
is what you're saying.
I could not watch Wisconsin, and I have not been impressed by them this entire season. I've described them as Charmin soft, sort of like the millennial generation. I've described them as the right heart, the right views, very good politics. Charmin soft.
Look, you kids got the
Charmin
right.
soft.
You boys got the right beliefs, but you're just not there.
So yeah, I didn't believe in the Badgers all year, and they took the North Carolina Tar Heels, a storied program, to the woodshed yesterday. They dissected them. They beat them by 23 points. They were head pillar to post. And I was shocked. I was completely shocked. They play Baylor now tomorrow. Baylor is a number 1 seed. They're one of the best teams in college basketball. Baylor's got a good athletic program. All those Texas schools, man, they got that money. They got that money, and they're putting it into those programs. You know, they all got good Division I sports in Texas.
VCU's the first COVID casualty.
Oh, really?
Today.
Oh,
yeah.
did they have to cancel?
Virginia Commonwealth had to withdraw from the NCAA tournament, but I wonder if that's going to cause like a chain reaction.
Wow. So yeah, I guess the team they played just advanced automatically?
Yep, they advanced to the second round automatically.
That is where Shaka Smart used to coach at VCU. Then the University of Texas, I'm sure, brought out a wheelbarrow filled with money. A lot of money, I think, to get him to go to Texas. So he is there now, you know.
Yeah, and they'd have to be desperate for Texans to listen to a guy named Shaka.
Well, you know, I mean, there are a lot of people of color in the state of Texas. You know?
Oh yeah,
So, I mean,
and
it's
they're
probably
all
the majority.
playing high school sports. They get them. They're there for a reason.
Man, they got and those university sports down there. They run a ton. Baylor University, their football stadium, $350 million. Brand new football stadium for college football. $350 million. That's a lot of money for a college football stadium. That's a lot of money.
They make it, though. They made it.
Of course, absolutely. So, yeah, but it was fun watching the University of Wisconsin take the University of North Carolina to the woodshed yesterday. They beat them with their Aryan style of basketball. You know,
just shooting the underhand grandma style.
And just picking you to death. And always
high
freeing
white
a guy
socks,
up.
high top Converse.
They are
Hackman coaching.
They are a Caucasian team.
Just describing the movie Hoosiers, by the way.
You know, and they grip that ball. They white knuckle that ball. They do not turn it over. They pass the ball 4 times on every offensive possession, and they looked great. If you haven't played against them before, I don't care if you're more talented. You're going to get dissected by them because their system, they run it so well. Pass the ball over to John Davidson. Yeah, John Davidson is a guard, and also Dimitri Trice is a guard. And Davidson, who shot 33% from the field this year.
That's bad.
33%.
That's not good.
He had 29 points yesterday. He shot like 75% from the field, 80%.
See where we're at in Goodfellas.
You know,
VH1 is just, they're not music anymore, right? It's just no music.
Yeah, it's sort of like what MTV became 20 years ago, 15, 30 years ago. Maybe.
Unavailable. This is when
Perhaps it was 30 years
probably
ago.
The internet. There's no way we don't get VH1.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I am.
Here, let's go in the random. This is Freeform Network. This is a gayer channel.
Okay.
And this is called I Feel Pretty. Uh-oh.
Whoa. Yeah, I think we're going to watch this. This is what we're going to do. Holy shit. Wow.
I said it's the gay channel, and they immediately just have, it's Amy Schumer. Oh, I know what this is. She's all fat, and she's gonna be in the show.
Exactly. And they have like a thing. He's like what indie comic is that, you know?
I think that's Corey
fucking beards.
It's probably her chef husband. Oh, that's Dave Attell.
Dave Attell getting a paycheck.
Hell yeah, he's getting a paycheck.
No, I followed him once in New York when I very first started doing stand-up.
Stage.
Yeah, he did.
I thought you meant like around town.
He absolutely killed. And I was like, that's a hard act to follow. Like 9 months in, my act was terrible. It went nowhere. I bombed in front of friends of mine at the Boston Comedy Shop in New York City.
Boston Comedy Club,
1994.
Oh wow, that's early. Did you see old Jimmy Norton?
No. I don't know. Again, I followed Dave Attell. I know that for a fact, and he just, everything he did, it was just explosive laughter. Explosive.
Well, yeah,
laughter.
he's one of the greatest comics ever.
You know, yeah, he knows what he's doing. I saw him. He was in Chicago. I think he'd sold out whatever it was, some theater there, the Mega Theater. I don't know what it was. He was there for back-to-back nights, and I was driving down North Avenue.
That's like in Spinal Tap. It's at the Normo Dome or whatever.
It's something, you know, some place. He was selling out 1,500 people a show, I'm sure. And so I'm on North Avenue. It's February in Chicago, so it's cold. I saw him. He's like smoking a cigarette. He looked totally hunched up and just like all, and I didn't have a hat on and was smoking a cigarette. And I rolled my window down. I was like, Attell! And he's like, he kind of just like, he put his hand up. He looked like the most miserable, uncomfortable human being I had ever seen.
Well, he is. He's always worried about. He's always worried. He'll call you at like 4 a.m. I heard, and ask if you've done a joke. Like, do you have a bit like this? Because he's so insecure about stealing material from people.
Wow. Well, yeah,
he's a ball of insecurity.
Oh, well, unfortunately, that's sort of the. Isn't that one of the fundamental emotions that makes being a great comic? And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be, you know. I don't want to feel those horrible, insecure feelings. There's a point where you want to get some experience, and you're not feeling that way so much. So I think I'm better in that regard. But in my 20s, insecure human being. Insecure.
Amy Schumer getting all sassy in the background. Does that turn you on?
Me? No.
I don't think she's super unattractive. I'm not a big Amy Schumer anti. She's a fucking fat pig. No. You know, she's
funny.
It is fitting that she was like, her being the mayonnaise spokeswoman is like perfect.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, she's not gross, but you know, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It fits.
Yeah. I
agree. Attell with his Hawaiian shirt. Just being a dirty old man. Those are the roles you get offered as a great comic. You're going to be dirty old man. Basically doing a wet t-shirt Wet t-shirt contest in the early 80s was a thing. I remember being a little kid back then and like wanting to go to a wet t-shirt contest. It's like, oh my God, you're going to see boobs when I was like 13. Again, that weird age, 11 to 14 when I was a huge
The outline of boob too, not even real boob.
Oh, you would see. Oh, it was all real back then, baby.
Well, it's still all real now. I mean, you're in reality. This is real.
Yeah, this is going on right now.
This is real.
Absolutely. You know, but whoa, look at those women. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I was watching a little NCAA basketball tomorrow, 11:40 Pacific Coast time. We'll watch the University of Wisconsin play Baylor University.
Big Texas, Baylor, Texas.
Oh, Illinois is playing Loyola Chicago tomorrow too, which I think will be
that's going to be huge. A little. I mean, not a rivalry, but like a little domestic battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And Loyola's good, and Illinois can win it all.
That Porter Moser guy is apparently up for the Minnesota job.
Oh, the guy who's the coach of Loyola.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah,
they want him to.
Rick Pitino's kid went to the University of New Mexico, where all Big Ten has-beens.
Well, the reason that's interesting is because he's a Jesuit guy, Porter Moser, so they figured he'd go to somewhere like Xavier or something like that.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so he really works that Jesuit angle.
I
always had respect for the Jesuits. You know, I was with the Jesuits.
I don't even really know what it is, essentially.
I'm not totally clear.
She could tell us.
But I know,
what is a Jesuit?
Well, it's a sect of the Catholic Church.
What is a Jesuit? So it's just like Catholic light, basically, right?
No, it's part of the Catholics. I mean, it's like the Capuchin monks, like a different sort of subset. You know, it's definitely related to the Catholic Church, but there's much more of a as I think of it, like Vince Lombardi was a big Jesuit. big Jesuit guy, and they're very much into like sort of being teachers,
Taking a knee, praying to the big guy before the game and stuff like that.
No, but like teaching people, like every single person is sort of a unique soul, and you got to teach a real kind of intense, rigorous intellectual discipline. It's definitely the intellectual side, I think, of like the Catholic Church. That's why when they went against Galileo and said he should get 10 years of house arrest in the 17th or 16th century, 17th century. They were culpable also, probably 16th century when that happened. Again, that classic issue of not trusting science. I think I told you, Keith, I got a friend who's a doctor in Madison, Wisconsin, and he told me he's been so busy this past year, and he has had Keith, he's had a couple hundred people, when he shows them the result, they're in the ICU, and he has the paper saying, you have COVID, you're positive for COVID. They're just like, no, this is a flu.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people. He says it drives him up a wall. He actually likes putting the tube down their throat because they don't speak.
I think
he actually likes doing
at some point when the vaccine gets kicking, actually, I think you're going to get to a point where you're just going to have to like treat it like any other stupidity, where you're just like, all right, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there. There are rays of hope. Again, the end of the beginning, not the beginning of the end. The end of the beginning.
Look at you with the life lessons.
Exactly. Well, I'm a wise man. I'm 51 years old. I've learned a thing or two about life. I mean,
You're young old.
Oh yeah. Trust me. In other words, very immature. So that
you're about as you're feeling spry like this raptor in the cage here.
I feel good. I golfed twice. I golfed on Friday. I golfed on Saturday. So. I'm feeling I'm in good shape, making a little money driving. I'm in a good headspace. Have you been?
I would like to do a compilation of how many times you've said you're in a good headspace on this show.
Well, I'm trying to give a positive energy, my friend.
That's the converse. That's part that we need to add that to the conversation dial.
Exactly. But I am. It's I want to work with you, man.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. I'm just making fun of you.
So I watched the second episode of the Alan Farrow documentary on HBO Max.
Is that the one for? You said Alan Farrow, like it's like the one person.
Well, it's like Alan versus Farrow.
What'd you think
Farrow
about that?
Alan?
We'll put Goodfellas on. We'll talk about this Woody Allen shit, huh?
It was, I watched the first episode probably 2 weeks ago.
Oh, we don't get VH1 apparently. I forgot. Fucking bullshit.
2 weeks ago, I watched the first episode and I was like, they were doing it's pretty good direction. I mean, I think they're not trying to be sensationalize it. They're trying to be kind of very sober about it, I know that Woody Allen's attorney immediately issued a statement saying it's a hatchet job. Immediately had to put something up on that.
Well, it's definitely from like...
Well, it's Mia Farrow's perspective, but it's pretty accurate.
It's definitely about one aspect of it. Like it's not... I wouldn't even say it's a documentary about Woody Allen. It's a documentary where they're saying the point of this is to prove that he is a child molester.
He's a pedophile.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm still in the camp of he's creepy. That like he...
Oh, they go into this one story that
like,
makes it...
The one hinge for me is that chick has for decades been like, I'm fine. I'm not saying anything. It was all consensual.
Well, here's what's interesting about it is that when the story first came out, which I can't believe it's almost 30 years ago.
He is creepy though, by the way.
Oh, there's no doubt
Annie
about
Hall's
it.
still a great movie.
But it is, yeah, absolutely. As
and
is
I think
Manhattan.
that's the least pedo of all of his movies. I feel like
they put that in the second episode where they talk about he's
how
got this
great
pattern.
Annie Hall is?
No, about the pattern of I think young women that he's always talking about in his movies. There's like 6 or 7 clips from different movies. Obviously, Manhattan, which is my favorite Woody Allen movie. That's a fundamental plot line of the movie. Is basically him being in love with a 17-year-old when he's 42. But what's creepy about this, the whole his daughter marrying his daughter, that's creepy enough. But they weren't blood related, blah blah blah. But she was young, very naive. But he had a daughter who was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years old that he fucked, and it's like that's just really, really, really fucked up, obviously. But they do I think they do a pretty good job of kind of building that argument, But he had a daughter, Dylan, that he just basically focused on a lot, and she did not like being around him. And he ended up there was an incident in the attic where he took her up in the attic one time and basically had sex with her. And Dylan is like, yeah, I remember that. I was like 4 years old, and I remember
This
it
is
happening.
Woody did this?
Yeah, Woody Allen did this. You know, when like Mia Farrow and a friend of hers who were like watching after the kids left for a short errand.
See, I didn't know
You
that.
know?
See, all
and they
all
go
the
into
stuff
that.
I've listened to where people are criticizing it, they're saying that they're just like, yeah, they're using his movies to say he was a pedophile.
I think that's one of the points that buttresses his sort of personality, but that's not the main focus of it. I mean, I think that, you know, Mia Farrow's interviewed a lot in it, but also friends of Mia Farrow, the kids are interviewed a lot, and they're all in their 30s now. I mean, they're like adults, they're functioning adults, you know. And it's like,
isn't old boy Frank Sinatra's kid
who
Ronan Farrow?
That's
don't
a
they
good
say
point.
he's like, because he's definitely, I think he's even said like, I don't think I'm biologically Woody Allen's son.
Well, I mean,
he's just raised by him. Like he's like the raised by father.
Yeah, well, I think that he was because they were married for 2 years. Farrow and Sinatra were, when she was like 22.
I was going to say
21.
Woody Allen. Look, all this happened in 2 years. Jesus Christ.
But I mean, I know that. I think she had adopted several kids. I mean, you know, they had an eccentric life in many ways. You know, that they were married. They weren't really married. They were not married. They were like common law, but they lived in different apartments.
Doesn't Mia Farrow have like a whole like nation of adopted children now?
Well, I think she had adopted like 3 different Asian kids. I mean, they had like a 7-kid family. I mean, she was like, I always wanted to have a big family, you know, and she had some through natural birth and then obviously some through...
Woody just throwing a dartboard at the fucking countries.
Well, he was, I mean, no, but he wasn't involved in a lot of those decisions. He kind of came into it.
Rick Steves is Europe. This is the best way to do it. They think differently in Europe.
Yeah.
They put on a program where they would probably accept Woody Allen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. No, man, I'm telling you.
I'll go live in the Alps and do it.
They, the whole stuff with his daughter Dylan is genuinely disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
It's genuinely disturbing. She's a child. And that was just, I didn't like watching that. I'm not into it. You know?
Yeah, you
I mean,
did
it's well done, but
yeah,
I'm not into it.
and you rewound it,
you know,
and you watched it again, and you're here talking about it, and you sound like you love it.
It's a well-produced documentary. Look at that, man. Look at Northern Italy. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, they haven't touched it. I mean, in general, I was with one of my friends one time in Chicago, and we were just driving around. And he was talking about how he went to Spain recently, and he was like, "Oh, it was so beautiful." And I was like, "It's funny how you were in Madrid and this is Chicago, and Madrid and Chicago are both as global cities as each other."
Yeah, yeah.
But if you look at Madrid versus Chicago, Chicago looks like a shithole. I was like, every American city probably looks garbage compared to
most European cities.
And
I would
he was
agree.
even saying too, he was like, it isn't even the dirty. I was like, look at this graffiti everywhere. And he was like, but they also don't modernize as much.
Yeah.
They keep the old exterior, like inside everything looks modern, but everything still has that colonial spin to it.
Yeah, and that kind of facade.
America rebuilds itself every 15 years.
No, exactly. I mean, when I think of like kind of pretty cities, I would say,
look at them. Fucking, there's nowhere you can go. Just go.
Yeah.
The only place you can find here in America is a place that sells these items to rich people.
You know, Spain is beautiful, man. Spain's cool. It's a great. The people are.
Look, and we got Rick Steves here talking
Paintings
about it.
adorning the walls feature only one family, the noble German family that has owned the castle for
The Spanish and the Germans, man, they've always had a connection. That fascist thing went on in the Spanish Civil War. Franco, you know, he was very much, Hitler gave him a bunch of money and goods and stuff and airplanes and soldiers and, you know, during the Spanish Civil War, because Spain was genuinely anarchy. It did not have a government, but it was actually functioning. Like, it truly did not have a government for like 3 years. And then there was a bad civil war, horrible civil war. That was a real precursor to the Second World War.
And that
beautiful country. Well,
educational moment on the show. We're back.
I know we are, but yeah, this is Italy though.
Yeah,
so I go off on my tangents, but I've never been to Italy. I'd like to go.
Probably the same art that's on the bottom of their pasta plates. You eat the spaghetti off of this.
What I was told, a buddy of mine lived in Florence for a year, studied abroad. That I think they said this 30 years ago again. It's one of the themes. I think over half of the world's art is located in Italy. Like the entire country is just basically like art. Like the walls, everything.
Where they all put it.
If you go into a cafe or a bar, there's just like some like amazing
piece of art. That's the Catholic Church's ransom.
Well, you know.
You want to catch us pedophiling these children? We got all your art.
No, well, Actually, quite the contrary.
You like Picasso? He was just like us.
When they
says Nanette.
Here is another educational moment with this now in times of the pandemic. In the times of the pandemic, they had a pandemic back in the 14th century. I think it was the last wave of plague that killed a third of the world's population, and a lot of the Catholic Church, a lot of people died, obviously, who were members of the Catholic Church, of course. And that actually liberated people. That's why the Renaissance actually happened. One of the reasons why is the church just got out of people's lives so they could actually create and not be moralized. You know, they could actually, do amazing things without being repressed by religion. So the Renaissance is, I think, directly related to the last wave of plague that happened. And amazing art, amazing architecture, a lot of amazing things.
That's
happened.
just like us, though. Like we did have a plague, but it's like a mediocre plague. So we're going to have mediocre art that follows this. Much like this podcast. Our entrance song is the best part of the show. I'm not denying it. We're cooking so far, though. We're having a good episode.
We're doing something.
All right.
So
exactly. No way to sound confident. Jesus Christ. We're doing something.
We got something going on. But
got Rick Steves. Again, treating Rick Steves.
That's
like
why
that?
I'm saying I'm in a good headspace. When I'm in a good headspace, it's a confident thing. I'm feeling good.
Look at that.
This looks like
25 minutes about your headspace.
But this is the northern probably northern
Look at
Italy.
You
the
knowing
Alps.
exactly where it is. You're a well-traveled man. You've been to Belize.
Yeah, I have. God, that was 7 years ago. I was in Belize, 2014. That was a good month. A lot of fun going there. I want to go back to Italy though. I want to go to Europe. I feel like when this pandemic finally ends, it's going to be this release. It's going to be this release of just like I think it's going to be kind of a party. There's going to be a real release going on.
God damn, I wish I had some Miley Cyrus or Bruce Springsteen ready to fucking roll when you said that.
It's going to be a party, I think. When this thing lifts, I don't know. I'll be interested to see.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a party.
I mean, that's it. That is the beginning. That's the intro music
Beach
to a
banquet.
shitty fucking Disney sitcom, That's such bad music. It's great. I love it. But I mean, doesn't that look amazing? It looks pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like something out of Lord of the Rings or something, even though that's New Zealand. But still, it's
they're breathing fresh air.
Those are old mountains.
Those are mountains that it's on the pictures of fucking drinking water bottles.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will say northern Spain, it's not quite as stunning as that, but it's pretty cool looking.
That's the freshest air known to man that you could breathe. And
I bet you Hawaii is.
People don't even care, Crow. People don't care about that fresh air. They would rather spend money on Belle Delphine's farts than go to the Alps and breathe pure air.
I know. But there are old, like in Spain, I went to Toledo. There are old villages like that.
Toledo, Ohio. I've been there. Been to a Ponderosa steakhouse.
It's about an hour and a half to the southwest of Madrid, and it has that same kind of look to it. When you walk down certain streets, I could put my arms out and touch both sides, like touch both buildings. As I walked, it was very narrow.
Like Kroshus' Titanic.
It's just like this is. Toledo's a cool city. It's got synagogues, mosques, and churches.
Yeah.
How
and
about
knights.
that?
They should have knights running around still.
There was a Spanish
Inquisition, that kind of art.
Man.
That looks like a napkin came to life.
Look at that. I mean, that's their graveyard. That's their cemetery. I mean,
really is like there's people that care enough to do that job. Out here, you'd have people just so furious to have the job where you have to upkeep the historical garden, be cigarette butts everywhere.
I mean, we have something.
Damn mess.
We have our national parks, I think. Although Trump did a good thing. There was this big Western like national park area that when Clinton was president. Again, educational moment. When Clinton was president.
I got to get a better educational fucking song.
President. Hey.
Hang on, hold on. No, wait. We got it here. Educate.
I know it feels more profound than what it really is. I'm so lame.
Go with your education.
But there was in the Southwest, I can't think of the name of it, but they had basically federalized a lot of land in the Southwest, and one of the big things that Trump did, he was like, it's excessive government overreach, and he rolled back like 90% of this federal.
Well, he's foreclosing on
mining
foreclosing
purposes.
on Wolverine hovels and shit like that.
But also just saying, no, we want to have mining in these areas, and there's a great natural beauty to it. And frankly, the areas, the economics to make them work. Oh boy, it's a limited amount of things that can actually work in that climate.
We got our annual or our weekly topics, Svengoolie. Shadow of the Cat.
Oh, I think this might be
I don't know, but that guy looked like Dick Van Dyke, right?
I think that they're trying to make it like, God, what was that movie that came out in the early 80s? Oh, God, what was it with Nastasia
Young
Kinski?
Frankenstein?
No, that was 74.
Was that really?
Yeah, Cat People.
I always thought that was a newer movie that was supposed to look older.
No, it came out in 74. I saw it in the theater. But Cat People came out in 1982. I don't think this is what...
no, this is Shadow of the Cat.
Yeah, it was not based on it. Because there was an older movie from like the early 30s that they remade into Cat People. And they had a weird like...
How meta is this right now, though? We're watching a show where a guy hosts a movie. We're hosting a show, watching a show where a guy hosts a movie.
Absolutely, man.
This is very meta right now. The world, our podcast might explode right now.
This is the tipping point, Keith.
You're just going to see
now
vortex.
The followers.
You see my ceiling fan spinning, guys, on YouTube? That's a vortex because we're fucking popping all time in reality right now.
Exactly. This guy's trying to kill this cat. That's the cat. He's going to fall out. Is that Lawrence? No, come on. That is not Laurence Olivier for crap. Again, me with the classic thing of, is that James Earl Jones, like some known actor? It's like, no. This is not. Laurence Olivier was not making this movie. This is a horror movie, though. You can tell.
Yeah. You know how you can tell? Because I got the music going.
Exactly. The rats can't even handle it.
This guy's out there on Wilshire and Alvarado right now.
Oh, man.
This is the same face you make when you're walking MacArthur Park after dark.
When I get over to my car, it's all business. I don't mess around. I'm not gonna.
You won't get physically fucked with, but you'll get screamed at.
Yeah, I
had something happen. I was walking to 7-Eleven. I tried this on stage and it didn't go well, so we'll burn it here.
Sure.
I was walking to 7-Eleven to get a big gulp. Probably have you drive me there after we record this.
Excellent.
And I was trying to get a super big gulp, and there's usually. You say super big gulp, they give me a regular big gulp. It's the super that throws them off.
Yeah.
There's the language barrier with super. And I get frustrated because it's like nothing else in this store has super attached to it.
Yeah.
Like, because they just kept going big gulp. And I'm like, no, super big gulp. It was getting to the point where I was yelling so hard to try and be heard that it seemed like I was mad, but I wasn't mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to yell, and I know they're not hearing me, but they're insisting. They're like getting upset with me that I'm reiterating so much. So I'm just like, all right, they got it. But I'm like, I tell the guy next to me, I go, I'm gonna walk down there. They're gonna hand me a regular big gulp cup. I know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
So that's what happened. I leave the 7-Eleven a little bummed, just playing the thing in my head, just like, what the fuck? Same thing I just went over. It's just super. What else in the store has super? Like, why is this so confusing?
I hate reliving shit like that.
I'm just reliving it all the way down the street.
And I do that all the time.
I turn the corner, and as I'm turning the corner, right by the Hayworth Theater here, someone comes up from behind me, and then as he passes me, he just goes, fucking do it then! And it made me jump and freeze.
Yep.
But in that moment, I forgot about everything I was mad about. And then as I was crossing the sidewalk, I was just like, what an exciting place to live.
So it was a good moment.
Yeah, I learned.
Absolutely. That's a good thing, man. Good.
Also, on a further look, the guy, he was taller than me, but like he was crazy with no weapons.
Yeah.
Like you're not... Yep. Really, in MacArthur Park, it's heroin addicts and shit. And if you get accosted by a heroin addict, that's on you.
Yeah.
They're very weak, frail people.
No kidding, man. I had, as you know, I've been doing the Lyft thing, and I don't drive at night. But there was a big ride bonus on Thursday night, 2 nights ago. So I picked up a guy in downtown. I had to go to Newport Beach. It was a $62 run. I made $62.
There you go. Well, how much of that do you keep? $15?
Oh, no. That's all of it. I make all 62.
Oh, you make all 62?
Yeah, he had to pay more. He had to pay $20 to the other folks or whatever, So for him it was $80 or whatever, $82, $85. So if you do 3 rides in a 1 hour period, you get an additional $21. So that whole experience down there, going down there, I made like $125. So it was worthwhile. The last person I pick up, it's the
goddamn 48 hours while you tell this story.
I didn't turn the app off to make it my last ride. So I got one in the queue and I was like, I didn't have to do that ride. I got my money. So I was like, okay, I'll take this last person. And it was dark. It had finally gotten dark, got past 8 o'clock. And out here, as you know, the freaks come out at night. So I had to meet this person at a...
it's the name of Kroshus' new comedy special. He's plugging it.
The freaks come out at night. So it was 8:30 Thursday night, and I had to meet her at an Arco gas station parking lot. That's always like, when you go to a gas station parking lot, pick someone up.
Anytime as a rideshare guy that you got to stop somewhere before the destination, that to me is like, what's going on here?
And that only happens when it's, not only, but at night, that happens
or
a
the
lot.
pull over, I have to throw up.
I've never had that, luckily. And that's why, see, I don't drive at night. That's the reason why. Driving during the day, though, it's been great. So I picked her up, though, my last ride of Thursday. And I made $350 on Thursday, which is a pretty good night. So she comes in and she's immediately, she's like, I'm withdrawing. And she was like, it was like me on the show 6 weeks ago. She was literally like, she's kicking my seat. Like,
Vince LaRock. Did I ever, I told you about Vince LaRock that would withdraw from crack and fucking. I've definitely told you that story.
He's one of your dad's friends?
My dad's friends that would like, he's the only person I ever saw physically withdraw from crack. Ooh. Same thing. He would like tense up and stretch his shit out.
Yeah.
Seemed like it would relieve him.
Yeah. Well, and she was
like
just like
ripping a fart,
and she had that horrible that junky makeup. I was like, and it was a 6-minute ride. Thank God it was a 6-minute ride. And I went to drop her. She's like, can you bring me back? And I was like, no, I can't. I just can't bring you back. It's just, she wanted it for free, and I was just not going to do that.
See what BYU's doing?
Okay. She was. I said, hey, you know something? You have to. You got to get to rehab. Yeah, they won't take Arizona insurance.
Said I gotta go to rehab. No.
She was in rough shape, and that's what happens at night. That's what happens at night, man. The weirdos come out at night. BYU was good, I thought.
Freaks come out at night. You put the X in sex. Crazy nights.
Because maybe the fact that Kiss had a song called "You Put the X into Sex."
Sometimes you put the X in sex and that X cuts your throat, and then you just gotta lick it up, lick the blood off Wilshire.
When they took their makeup off and they brought up
jarring probably for you.
Oh, absolutely. Animalize. It was such a bad song. Lick it up, lick it up. Oh, you got it right now. They're so fucking bad. And little kids, that was like a hip kid. When you were like a hip kid who was like 7 or 8 years old, when I was 7 or 8, liked Kiss. I didn't like Kiss. Kiss scared me. I didn't like him. I was a Styx guy. Which is so lame.
Oh, Styx is like fucking
Renegade
and Mr. Roboto, right?
Oh my God. Yes, it is. But they also had like Babe, I'm Leaving. That song was lame.
Every time we record, Raiders of the fucking Lost Ark is on.
But Styx was all. Renegade was the one where I would get the tennis racket out and air guitar to it. The jig is up, the truth is out. They finally found me. You renegade, you had it made. Retreat from a bounty. Never moan and go astray. I don't know, something like that. Pieces of 8 was the album it was off of.
That's a deeper cut. I love how you're having trouble with the lyrics to the actual song, but you're just like, Pieces of 8 was the album.
That was the album, absolutely. It also had like I think Great White Hope might have been on that. Look at me, I'm up against the ropes. I'm the Great White Hope. I've been thinking that was like a great, like a good song. God, that era of rock and roll was such crap, such garbage. You know, Amy Schumer's cute.
She's not unattractive.
You know, she's a pretty woman.
It's like it's popular to hate DC comic book movies. It's just the it thing to think she's a fat. She actually kind of tipped the scale of what it is to be ugly, I feel like. When she kind of had, because she had this like empowerment period where she kind of was like, I feel like to put her money where her mouth is, she kind of wore less makeup, didn't worry about like trimming down in between because between movies you probably gain a little bit of weight,
I would think, you know.
And I think to instead of just accepting her, people just then were like, well, now we have to make this the unacceptable thing. So they're just like, well, she's a fucking troll piece of shit sausage. But I remember like 6 years ago, everybody liked Amy Schumer.
I think she's funny. She's got a potty mouth.
Popularity in general.
Yeah.
Makes people hate you.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too popular.
The love interest
Jane
in this,
Lynch, Jane Lynch in the center table.
I've heard Jane Lynch. It's Lauren Hutton. She was an American gigolo. She was the love interest of Richard Gere. Yeah, Lauren Hutton.
She looks like Jane Lynch.
No, man.
Jane Lynch is a bitch, by the way.
In real life?
I've heard she's terrible to work with.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Most people are pretty bad. The guy that's kind of into her isn't the true stud guy. He's kind of a beta guy. You know, he's sensitive a bit. Like, I like how they have that matching, you know, because she's not going to get the true stud guy because that would be too cliche. It needs to be a believable guy who's the romantic interest, right? With his sensitive man beard. So.
Everyone's got beards. You can't complain about the beards now because everyone's fat. You got to cover up those chins. You think Amy Schumer would love to grow a beard? Look, you got Rory fucking
and then Michelle Williams. You know?
Yeah,
I think she's underrated. She's good.
Rory Scovel. That's who that is. I was blanking on the last name. Yeah.
Please just agree to go before her fake eyelashes come flying out for bulging eyes.
Oh my God! What a line!
What a British insult that is!
What a line! God, this is just script. It's pulling me in.
Hey, this movie probably made money. Correct?
I'm sure it made money. Of course it does. Most bad things do.
In Boston? I'm going.
Yeah, your show's gonna win an Emmy.
Yeah, my show is. Who knows if that's even ever going to happen? We'll see. Although it was actually given out this week. It was handed out this week. But we're supposed to meet with the woman, and then she changed the appointment time, which is. Anyway.
I love how you whisper your inside fucking biz.
But just like, I don't, just.
Your microphone, they can hear everything.
They can, can't they? But yeah, for culminating two years of work, really about a year and a half of solid work, it finally went out this week. So we'll see what the feedback is. Odds are, it'll be passed, and that's fine. But it's nice to actually, it's a threshold.
As long as you hang on to that manager.
Well, I mean,
you can at least badger her every month.
Well, she's
that'll be your career.
Well, we're supposed to have weekly meetings, and she's been sketchy for the past couple months.
There you go.
There's always a family dilemma going on, and that's what it is. But it's like I'm kind of chomping.
That's what they say when they're going to the island, Crow.
But it's also
she's going to that island.
The island of what?
Where they do the stuff.
The island of Dr. Moreau,
where they Epsteins.
So yeah, she's look at
this. Do we get MTV? We don't get fucking VH1. Do we get MTV?
But so we'll see. I will be curious to see the feedback on this. I put a lot of time into it, into this 1 hour dramedy called Perfectly Good White Boy. That is the name of my 1 hour dramedy. I will be curious. I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot of changes. What I'm kind of hoping for, yes, it'd be great if it got produced. If they just said, we like your idea and we'll just pay you for it. And just go away. As long as I get some money, I'd be like, dude, okay, I mean, yeah, it's my art, if they're interested like that, then you've created something. You got a foot in the door. You can create something else. Because
they buy it off you and it becomes that Amy Schumer movie.
Yeah, it just turns into some completely different thing, Well, I think I told you. I know a guy in town here. He's good friends with my friend from college I always talk about. It's a guy named John Iskander, who's had some success in the business.
Got miscongeniality here.
He does a lot of like editing work, but he wrote a feature-length film that got made called Montreal Girls. He wrote it. He said he didn't even go to the premiere because literally like 15% of what he wrote actually made it.
That's my favorite LA drop of just like, he got it made.
Yeah. Well, it got made.
It went through the process.
But
he is homeless now. But it got made.
But he was just like, he didn't even go to the premiere. He's like, it's not even my movie. It's nothing. It's like literally like the names are like the only things that remain the same. Like it's literally 15% of what he wrote is in the script or in the final product. So he just said no. I mean, I'm not going to. He didn't even go to the preview or the opening, which is hilarious. And I guess it's going to be like a whatever released movie. Like a feature length movie that'll get picked up by some people. Independent film.
I gotta say, it's weird how I miss the excitement of a movie, even the short time I've been out here, because you find out about shit so early that like there's no excitement for anything.
Yeah.
Like I remember when you'd turn on the TV and you'd see a trailer and you'd get like giddy, like, oh, holy fuck. Because it's not even like you're seeing the finished product for the first time. That's one thing where you're like, oh, I'm seeing the actual finished movie for the first time.
Yeah.
When you turn on a trailer and you're like, I didn't even know they were making this.
Oh yeah.
That's an excitement that I don't think exists anymore unless you're like 80 years old.
Yeah.
And like you don't know what the fucking internet is.
Sort of what I am, you know.
But in general, but you know about stuff before it fucking happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I have an awareness enough of it. Yeah, but when I was a kid, dude, when the Empire Strikes Back commercial came on, it was literally like a mind-blowing experience.
Well, even stuff like this, like Miss Congeniality, a movie that I think now people would roundly pan this movie. But back in 1999 when this came out, you see the trailer, it's the first you're ever hearing of it, and you're like, oh, that's a novel concept.
Yeah.
And then you only see the trailer every now and again, and then whatever news show picks up a puff piece about it. But I feel like it maintains the excitement of, like, because you just don't know about it so much that you're just like, I'll go see that shit. And then you go see it and you're like, inevitably it is awful.
Yeah.
But you're like, it was fun. Like, but the excitement leading up to it, I feel like, is the journey. Whether a movie's good or not is, I feel like you're nitpicking after that.
Yeah. No, the anticipation is an important
it's a
thing.
whole ride.
Yeah.
Not liking the movie's just one part of the experience.
So, and you think now that's gone, correct? You think
because everything's so instant.
Yeah.
Because people know about every aspect of the movie before it comes out because you have 9 different trailers.
Yep.
And then you have the criticism of the movie happens so quickly and it's so searing and it's everywhere that then affects other people's excitement of the movie because then they just Rotten Tomato and they're like, oh, well, 59,000 people said this movie sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you fucking Google it and you're like, how did this movie make money? And you're like, well, maybe it's good. And those 59,000 people suck.
Yeah. 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 Well, yeah, exactly.
Or just like, I was thinking about it on the bus today about like how just the idea that like a movie being bad is hindering you. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League is what's stopping you from like solving sort of world problems. Like, don't blame the movies. Don't blame the bad movies. They were fine.
Yeah,
I watched a movie.
It is entertainment.
I watched a movie with Trey Songz in it, where one of the guys literally couldn't say the dialogue, and you could tell he just kept fucking up so much that they were like, "We just got to go through with this. This is only going to be on the Bounce Network.
Who cares?
Who cares?"
So again, what year did this movie come out? Miss Congeniality.
Let's see.
I want to say, was it 04 was the
2000.
04 I think was the sequel.
Big year.
Wow.
This movie defied Y2K.
She was Y2K was
a big year.
Absolutely.
My friend's dad turned off the fucking power in the house when the year 2000 hit. He went in the basement and flicked the fuse.
I wish I could.
Michael Caine.
Look at Michael Caine.
Old then. Candace Bergen on the right.
He is. He's one of those guys that has just always looked 59 years old.
If you look at him in the 60s, like Alfie, that movie
Looks
Alfie.
just like that.
Yeah, literally. It's like a little bit of orange hair. His hair it's orange, and it's the exact same skin. Jaws 4, the exact same skin. Now, playing Alfred, the exact same skin, you know? She goes to Texas because she's like a Texas actor. No, she
lives in Austin. She's a Texas girl.
She's from Virginia originally. Actually,
she lives in Texas. She loves Texas.
Yeah, lives there now, which is
She's Joe Rogan's neighbor. Ugh. They live in the same neighborhood.
Oh, that like a wealthy area of Austin.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hey,
sorry.
You want to live in a wealthy area? You're not going to stay in fucking.
That's true.
Everyone, I always get on Kevin Hogan. I'm like, if you become rich, you're going to be rich. No one is going to be rich, and they're just like, I'm keeping my studio apartment.
No, I know.
No, you're going to buy a house in fucking Echo Park or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If I actually had the cash,
I wouldn't put up the security bush where you won't, because that means like no homeless people sleeping in my yard.
Yeah,
you can sleep in my yard. I'll pour soup on you in the morning. You'll wake up, you eat. It's a double fucking benefit. It's an alarm clock and a meal.
I wonder about that. When I look at like various
dumping
housing,
soup on homeless people, it'll be so much fun.
Well, my building, I live in an 8-unit building.
Because it's food. Yeah. You're not demeaning them.
Exactly.
You're feeding them.
Yep, exactly. And it was, you look at the housing in Los Feliz, and I'm like, one of those places, modest place, probably a 3-bedroom that's like a bungalow in Chicago, like 1,400 square feet. You have like a 1-car garage.
Is that Shatner?
Yeah. And then a couple in a yard. You have you have a front and a backyard. I'm sure that's 1 point.
There is no house in Los Angeles that is less than $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's you can go to certain areas and find it, but you're gonna have to search for that. You know, I mean, it's no doubt.
You're going to have to search on Zillow for that.
Yeah, housing is not cheap here. I've discovered something. You're paying for that weather. You know, that's what you're doing. Bullock. I always had a crush on her.
Yeah.
She's America's sweetheart. You know?
Well, she was in that movie, certainly. So that's where you're thinking of it. You don't think she's America's sweetheart. She was in a movie called America's Sweetheart. So everybody's like, she's America's sweetheart. Yeah. No, she's not. She's just some average actress. She's so unspectacular.
She's had a career, man.
Oh my God, a huge one.
A huge. She, the camera likes her.
Is that Murphy Brown?
She's pretty. Oh yeah, it's Murphy Brown. Candice Bergen. She's big in the 70s. Candice Bergen. You know?
She's big in fucking normal time. Hey, 6'4", that gal, huh?
She was. I always thought Bullock was cute.
I went and visited the tallest lady in the world. At the time, when I was a kid, she came to the grocery store. How demeaning is that? She stood by the, not the line where you check in, but the big tall desk where you check out, like where the big wall of cigarettes is.
Yeah, exactly.
She stood by there and had a group of children just stand under her in awe.
And that was like an appearance fee. What do you think? What'd she get paid for that? $250?
I don't know. I was like 4. I was fucking not involved in the financial situations. We were just there to look.
How tall was she?
Like 7'2". Like nothing. Wow. Like at the time, like when you're 3, you're like, holy shit.
But everyone looks that way when you're 3. A 5'6" person is going to look like 7 foot tall.
That's what I'm saying. Looking back on it, I'm like, it was probably Sue Bird or something like that.
And WNBA player or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
It was Lisa Lobo or whatever the fuck.
Lisa Loeb. And no, is it Vicky Lobo?
No, it was Lisa Loeb. Lobo is
Lisa Loeb played that. And sometimes she was like indie rock.
Lobo's a villain in DC Comics.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Who is she the nemesis of? What's her?
No, it's a man, and he's a werewolf who rides a Harley.
And so who's he taking on?
He's a Justice League villain.
Oh! So they have to sometimes like take him.
Yeah,
on.
He's just one of the cornier DC villains. But he's around. He's one of those guys they're trying to make more relevant recently.
Because they're running out of ideas.
Well, he's got a little Mexican flair to him. Like he's like, if you were to put a race on him, he'd probably be not a white guy.
Would they call him Chicano?
Yeah. Hey, they have him do that a lot. Hey, instead of howling at the moon, he goes, hey, oh, fucker.
Yo, Holmes.
What up, Superman fucker?
Something, Keith? This is the truth. You do good voices. You've gone
I was better
notch.
before I went through the puberty.
So Keith, I got you off track and I apologize. You said you had that incident where the guy yelled something insane guy past MacArthur Park. Did you try telling a joke about
that? Was
that just didn't go well?
Oh yeah. Because I think people got upset when I was getting up. I think people got thrown off because I was talking about getting upset at the 7-Eleven people for like, I think when you try and get talk about getting upset about a language barrier, people think you're like being racist.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I was trying so hard to be like, it's not like it is a language barrier, but it's not, it has nothing to do with how I feel about them. It just, it's a language barrier. It caused this situation that I thought led to something funny. It was, the problem really is that me explaining about the big gulp is really set up. And that threw them off because I was doing, and I kind of I tried to do the impression of someone who works at 7-Eleven without being like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want to go straight up fucking Apu.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I don't want to go up and be like, and they were like, oh, you mean a big gulp? And I was like, no, super
gulp. Yeah.
Like, that's not how the situation went. To understand the language barrier, you have to know the language.
Yeah, exactly.
But it just threw people off. So by the time I got to the part about the homeless guy screaming, they laughed, but they were just kind of like, "Oh, we're glad it's over." Like it was worth it, but like, don't make fun of people that fucking talk like that, man. Like, I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying, like, learn my order is basically what I'm saying. I'm there every goddamn day. You don't know I get a super big gulp? Now they do though. Now they say large one.
Yeah.
Which is still incorrect, but still they get it right.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about the audience who went up in front of. It was Charmin Soft.
No, it was other comics. I think it was also just a wild night. It was just a bad night.
Yeah, well,
you ever have those sets where you think it's you and then you regroup with everybody and they were like, no, that was just a fucking weird night.
You know, I used to be like, early on, I was like, you know, I have to be, it's your job as the performer to actually tap into the audience to get them on your side.
It's your job as a performer to tap into that ass. You know what I'm saying?
and it was tapping into the ass.
That music plays every time Dick Van Dyke sticks his dick in somebody.
But it was
his cum trips over an ottoman.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
He's like 97. That guy was old. When I was a kid, he was old.
He
was old in the 1970s. He was
proof
old.
that if you never get sober, you will not die of alcoholism.
Yeah, because he's never gone to treatment.
His whole body is fucking pickled.
It's been
dude.
pickled, no doubt about that. You know,
he'll quit drinking and be dead in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no
his body he'll dry out and his body will just fucking seize.
Ooh. Yeah, supposedly alcohol. We've said it before. It's the only thing if you withdraw from it, you can actually die.
Pills, you can die of the withdrawal too.
Oh, really? From pills?
Yeah,
too?
barbiturates. That's how mixture of alcohol and whatever is how Amy Winehouse went.
Ooh, that's how she. Was that a suicide? You think? Or just...
No, she died of withdrawal.
Ooh.
She died from not being on alcohol and pills.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do that, you better be in a hospital where they can like monitor you. You know?
Yeah, she was just at home playing the drums.
What I heard,
screaming at my boyfriend.
I knew someone who withdrawn from heroin, and they said it was for 2 weeks. It was just horrific. She had been a junkie for 10 years. For a decade, she had been a junkie. So her life totally fell apart. She had to move in with her family again, and you go through these sweating periods. That you just like, she ruined a bed. They threw the mattress out of the bed because it just smelt so terrible, just from her sweats. You know, that's why I'm glad I never became a junkie. You know,
hey, there's still time, Crow.
You know, but anyway, yeah. So
like we were talking about earlier, you're young. Maybe you get into heroin in your late 50s.
You know, why not pick up a habit? I always said I never had enough vice in my life. You know, when I was younger.
Except for Miami Vice.
There we go.
And that's when Dick Van Dyke's sperm trips over an ottoman into the world.
I was saying tapping into before that, though.
Starring Maury Amsterdam.
Is that Horatio Sands?
No, I'm just another fat guy.
Exactly. This is on his reel. You know, he's like a Texas fat guy.
It's going to be ugly. Yeah, no kidding.
No, he probably was flown in from
I gotta
Jersey.
do something. I'm going to go do laps, all right?
There you go, man. Work out, bro. Get out there, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Keep yourself in shape.
We're at the hour.
That's what you do. Keep yourself in shape.
You still feeling good? You want to take a break?
I think let's take a break in a little. That's why. That's in the next 5 minutes. You know what? What's been on your mind? You know.
Well, we could get into. We could do. Yeah. Well, that's a good. What a astute host move, Crow.
Yeah.
We'll go over some second half topics to let the listeners know.
Ooh, in anticipation.
What they're in store for.
Absolutely.
I might yell about the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And then I might also not yell about them possibly getting a quarterback that might be a rapist.
Yeah.
What else? We got This Week in TV History. We got. I still haven't talked about Justice League. I did a little bit, but like I could show Joker scene. I could show you some new Leto Joker. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh man, it's going to be
Three's
amazing.
Company. 8 is enough.
Started the same week in 1977.
Maybe we'll watch an old baseball game. Make fun of an old baseball game.
Ooh, I'd like that too. That'd be good.
It's going to be a good time.
She looks too skinny. You know, but yeah,
too skinny.
Yeah, she's too skinny. You know.
Women are beautiful, Crow. They're all fucking...
Well, she's beautiful. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, they don't pick ugly ones to be in these movies.
The camera's going to treat you well.
That's a Twilight Zone episode where we're fucking not pigs. We're just everyone in entertainment is just slightly ugly.
Yeah. You know.
That would be the worst Twilight Zone episode where it's just me. Everything's just not... Because the whole point of a Twilight Zone is that it's fucking off its axis wild.
Yeah.
Like, people are farm animals. But what if it was just like, in this world, people are moderately unattractive?
I'll tell you what, Twilight Zone was the X-Files of its time. In terms of there was a certain sophistication to it. There was a 60s sophistication that Dick Van Dyke tapped into.
Sophistication.
When he was
tapped
doing
into that, he tapped into a keg of beer, tapped into some gin bottles, tapped into all of that shit. Hey.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping up the first half.
Got some commercials.
Well, hello, Larry.
At Blue Cross Blue Shield, we've been protecting millions of people for over 75 years. It's what gives us the experience and understanding to help you find a plan that fits where you are today and where you'll be tomorrow. Get spring break styles for the entire family. Tees and tanks for just $5 and thousands of other amazing styles all on sale. Run to Old Navy. There are moments that define who we are, what we stand for, and where we're going. Made with pride. Crafted with passion. Jeep Cherokee. Find love again. Right on the Gulf Coast. Beau Rivage. A feeling like no other. To succeed in our ever-changing, busy world, you've got to create your own brilliant website. Wix makes it simple. Create your website today. It's easy and it's free. Every time you raise a Pacifico, let it be a reminder to live life anchors up. Imagine waking up to the enticing aroma of bacon, sausage, fluffy eggs, and a whiff of delectable hash browns. Stop imagining. Get to McDonald's for the deluxe breakfast platter, because nobody has ever woken up to the fresh smell of cereal.
It's yours?
No,
Mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
have what?
Look, Dad, it's not.
Where did you get it?
Dad,
answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
In a situation such as this, the bottom half of the eighth inning,
just the outfit. They probably had they had a relatively big crowd for the game, but I bet you the upper deck wasn't filled up. They probably had half capacity.
Oh yeah, and at least in the 30s, I was reading this book about the Cubs in the 30s, and I guess they used to have a lot of women. They built the upper deck specifically for they used to do. They were the first team to do the women get in free. Wow. And they had to build the upper deck to support the amount of stay-at-home wives, and it created the sports savvy wife. There were women that would get thrown out of the games because they would get into arguments with fucking Tris Speaker and shit like that.
Yeah, interesting. That's kind of an interesting story. And I mean, God, yeah.
Let's make it official.
Well, hello, Larry.
All right.
Hello, Larry. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half. And we've decided to play a baseball game, which is the...
We're trying the biggest challenge, and that is we're trying to make baseball entertaining for everybody.
We have to just make the show entertaining for everyone. When you throw baseball in,
that first half was good.
No, yeah, we were on our game.
It was good.
I only lost my train of thought once, which is good.
No,
it's always a good sign.
Look at that, upset. That's such a 60s way to get upset.
Oh yeah, workman. You workman Damn it, doggone it, That kick in the dirt. You son of a,
Son of a Mary Joseph.
I mean, yeah, the emotions. You know what?
A lot of Marys and Josephs spreading around that dugout.
Although I think that's one thing. If you read the book Ball 4, which was written by Jim Booten, he wrote about his year of playing for the Seattle Pilots, but he also talked a lot about Mickey Mantle because he was on the early 60s Yankees. He pitched for two teams that won World Series in 61 and 62. So he knew Mickey Mantle, and he basically talked about what a drunk Mickey Mantle was. And just also, they were just totally these dirty old men who played the game. They would often go, there were certain bleachers in the outfield that had slats you could see between, and they'd go and look up women's skirts all the time. Beaver shooting, they'd call it.
See, Crow, when I grew up, there were angels in the outfield. Right?
But this is, yeah, Jim, again, I think a lot of these guys were real dirtbags.
Oh yeah, cheating on their wives, gambling, racist,
yeah, and they had a problem with the bottle. Oh yeah, absolutely, making a lot of queer jokes. Yeah, these were not like, refined.
Oh,
men,
yeah. These are not social justice warriors. That's Don Landrum was not a social justice warrior.
Yeah, exactly. They were, who's this Martin Luther King? I don't understand why he's so upset. They always seem to be so happy and smiling when I see them on television.
That's why they didn't put last names on the jersey. They're like, this guy's last name is the N-word.
No,
I don't know if we can throw that on the jersey.
Yeah, it was integrated. I give this is like things were getting a little hip in the '60s, But
what's weird though? It was still the kind of like tail end. Like it was still new. For it being like
integrated.
20 years. It was only 20 years.
Oh yeah, and really for some teams, I think. Was it the Red Sox?
It was still new enough to where there were still people
59 was the last year. The Red Sox was the last team to hold out.
Of course they were. There were probably still some players that were like, I'm still not used to it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they had to bite their lip. There's a great book I read by David Halberstam about 1964. It's called October 64. And he wrote about the St. Louis Cardinals. And he uses this kind of like a backdrop to a changing society, and all that crap to give it some sort of gravitas. But he talked about Tim McCarver was a catcher, a rookie for the St. Louis Cardinals in 64, and he had to catch Bob Gibson. And so when they take the bus, when they went
catchers
to
live
towns,
forever, dude.
When they had to go from spot to spot, whatever. He used to drink knee high. Tim McCarver did. So he's drinking a knee high. Bob Gibson came over, took it out of his hand, and took a big gulp of it and gave it back to him to see if he would drink out of it again. McCarver was from Memphis, and his old man was a cop in Memphis. So he wanted to see if he would actually do it or not. But because Gibson was like respected, but he
what
knew,
a
like
old timey 50s way to like get the upper hand.
But exactly. Like, here you go. I have a sip.
Here you go, kid.
Exactly. I'm a black man, and I supposedly Bob Gibson was like just this incredibly
Bob
intense
Gibson
guy.
was physically imposing.
Yeah, well, I think
like a big giant brick wall walking around.
He was actually kind of a slight guy.
He was tall though, wasn't he?
He had a very strong. No. I think he was like maybe 6'1", 170 pounds.
Because they were. I always know people of that time talk about how imposing he was to even watch on TV. But then I read that they've raised the mound the year he got hot, so he actually did look higher than normal.
The mound was 6 inches high. It was lowered in 1967. It was lowered by 6 inches after 68. After 68, it was lowered. The 69 season, the year I was born, it was lowered 6 inches, and that made the stats went haywire for batting. It was like, they made divisions too. They made divisions in 69. See, I remember the old days of the East and the West. When I first came into baseball, it was the East and the West, and that was it. The two expansion teams were the Mariners and the Blue Jays. No Marlin, none of that. So it was all like no Marlins.
None of that Marlin Cuban shit.
None of that Rockies.
Back in my day, our players weren't defecting.
But what I liked about
you anti-American, we supported Cuba and their national baseball team. We wanted them all over there. We supported them so hard. None of them don't play in our league. You got your own league. We support it.
But what I like is that baseball, like in 10 years, it definitely mirrored society. The first wave of boomer athletes started playing in the 70s, and it got really coke heavy. Like late 70s baseball
Everything gets
was
funner.
coked up,
dude.
I mean, it was, and I don't think guys were blowing. They were doing like greenies and reds and weird like pills and shit.
And they were clearly getting cocaine-y with the uniforms. Let's go through some fucking uniforms from that era.
I think it really, honestly, the A's of the early 70s changed it. They changed the color palette, and baseball then mocked or followed that. The Padres, the Indians had some amazing uniforms. Look at that Dennis Eckersley picture in the upper left.
This guy?
Yeah, Dennis Eckersley. Look at that. When he pitched for those Cleveland, that color of red is just bizarre.
Oh, it was just so stripes on the hats, the tall hats, a lot of
Kent DeColvey,
orange stripes.
Yeah, absolutely. Kent DeColvey's to the right. He's a sidearm pitcher. Well, yeah, you pass. That's okay. Keep doing what you do.
This guy?
Up a little more. Yeah, that guy, exactly. No, you had him. Yes, exactly. That's Kent DeColvey. He was the closer for the 79 Pirates.
That's almost not, it's sidearm, but his body's not going side with it. It's almost like he's just pissed and like.
Wait, no, he's skipping a rock. That's all he's doing. Kent DeColvey. I remember him. And then they also had like those Astros uniforms. Look at those White Sox uniforms. That was like 73, 74 White Sox. White Sox had weird uniforms. Oh, those caps are great too. That Jailhouse Pirate one is a badass hat. It's totally a badass hat. Look at those giant uniforms. earth toned orange, man. Padres. That's the era of Padre that I remember when I first started watching them.
The like brown and and yellow.
Yes, absolutely. That was Dave Winfield, Padres. Dave Winfield. There's his card.
I feel like this whole page is the same 3 teams. It's just the Indians. Well, they all kind of. They also had flashy players. You had Richie Allen wearing stepdad glasses out there looking like fucking Arn Anderson and shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, this era, the uniform, that Braves uniform looked like a softball uniform. Uniforms got weird in the 70s. They just got, again, because the culture was like, whatever. It was digesting the 1960s. It didn't know how to quite deal with it, you know? Then Reagan came in and it was like, no, you know? You kids who were playing soccer before in the late 70s, you are now playing football, okay? This is America.
You're not
play
gay.
Football.
Drugs are bad. Say no to drugs. Yes to pussy.
It was the sham.
Want to be
80s.
like old Ronnie? I eat that girl for lunch every night. He points to Nancy over there. She's just like,
I think.
Why do you think she looks like a corpse? I suck the life out of her through her vagina.
Oh man.
What if Reagan talked like that?
He was.
What if he was like an aggressive creep, but he still had the like, oh, Nancy, why do you think she looks like a wistful corpse? Because I suck all the fluids out of her through her clitoris.
You have to realize when he was elected, it was the political moment. We have to have the political music. You have to realize, Keith, that when Reagan was elected, it was kind of like Trump in the sense of this guy's a movie star. He's a movie star, and he's going to be president.
Well, there was no one to compare him to, too.
Exactly, it was a new thing. Like he was very much. He understood like the television medium. He understood it very well. He knew he presented himself very well, and so that was kind of like. But he also
and
he
people
was governor
liked him.
for 8
People
years.
hated Trump going in. I feel like people liked Reagan for a little bit.
He was. Reagan was terrible
because he was just a big dummy.
Well,
it'd be like I feel like Reagan and Bush too were like, oh, we elected a wad of tobacco president. This should be interesting.
I mean, he was deemed super old, and he was 71, and Biden is 78. Like that was another thing.
Reagan was 71.
Yes, when he got, and it was like he was the oldest man ever.
Long.
Oh, he lived in his 90s.
He died in the 2000s. He outlived my grandpa.
Yeah, he was 93.
How dare
I think, when he died?
How dare Ronald Reagan?
He was revered. He was like the Republican Kennedy. He's so bad. So much bad stuff happened to him. But whatever.
Anyway, that was the news.
Yep. But I said that though with what a big deal was with Reagan.
A good segment though. Really, these fucking drops are really coming in handy for these short segments. They're making the show fun. If it gets lolly, I hit you with one of these.
Exactly.
If it gets, you just.
Norm Gulak.
Fucking poetry.
Do you know what this was? No, this was a highlight of Mercury Morris for the 73 Dolphins. Whenever there was a black player, it would get like it would get like tribal. They would do it, get earthy. Mercury Morris, unlike Zonka and Kick, had twinkle toes. Yeah, and they show him like against the Jets running for like 18 yards and out of bounds.
Larry Zonka was also on cocaine.
I don't think Zonka was. Zonka was just a big man.
Changing out the battery real quick. I'll be right back. You'll see my pretty face soon.
When I was a kid, Larry Zonka, to me, was one of the toughest football players ever. Like just his name. But I saw old Zonka. He played for the 80 Dolphins. He went back and played for the 1980 Dolphins. He was a running back for like 11 or 12 years in the league. You have played a while as a running back.
And I'm more used to old Zonka in that the old guy that would speak to you in your elementary school cafeteria.
Old Zonka over here. Your retainer. You dropped your retainer again into the trash.
He's the guy that tells you what life is like on the other side when you right all your wrongs. When you become a bland, boring person.
When he was a...
I gotta say, even though it's dangerous and it kills you, there's probably not many more fun people than a CTE'd wild NFL player. Like that's the guy you want to hang out on the town with.
Things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen. Lawrence Taylor. I'm sure.
They have to enjoy all their nights because they have so few of them. Because they're going to
Although by the
do
end,
something horrible when they're 48 years old.
Yeah, when you're in your 50s with CT, yeah. I mean, all these guys, Keith, and I remember my favorite football player.
The entire Pittsburgh Steelers defense lived until they were 80, but it was a hard 80.
Oh, no, they checked out in the early 60s, a lot of them.
You just had to move them like claymation to fucking get them around.
LC Greenwood, I think, was like 67, I think. Ernie White might have been 67 or 68. And then the fourth, who was the other guy who died too? 3 of the 4. So when I was a kid, I mean, one of my favorite Vikings was Matt Blair. Matt Blair was a linebacker. Matt Blair sounds like someone that you feuded with in middle school. He was an excellent athlete. He blocked his career blocks. He has like 20 career block kicks.
Well, yeah, Matt Blair was the prom king.
He was great.
Matt Blair's the prom king, hot mom.
So he's a nemesis.
Drives everybody to school, a big cable package, lives in the new subdivision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't get invited to your 2nd grade birthday party because you live in an apartment.
Yeah.
And they're afraid of germs in the building.
God.
Although now in COVID times, that's a legit reason to not let your kid have friends.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned of the germs in your area.
Yeah. Interesting.
And you're poor.
Yeah. Matt Blair. So he died. He had CTE. He died in the past year. All these guys that I revere. Fred McNeil.
No,
dead.
I'm kidding.
But you know, I mean, it's like, you know, that's when you know you're getting old, man. When athletes you revered as a kid, they're starting to croak. And it's only going to get more. Look at that. There's no upper deck. No one's in the upper deck.
Yep.
Do you see that? I mean, there's like 8,000 people at the game.
It looks like they fucking pasted this fucking broadcast together on VHS tape. There's young Pete Rose.
Wow.
Reviewing history right here, guys.
I think Pete Rose was it was his second year.
He's got a fucking pot belly. Rookie pot belly. Look at that.
Well, he had a thick build. Look at how skinny he was then.
Anybody by this time have no hits.
Look, I mean, Pete Rose, again, because I remember Pete Rose being a dominant baseball athlete. Like, if you were a Pete Rose fan, that was I knew you were a dick. Like, if you like Pete Rose in the late 70s,
he's a piece of shit. I'm sick of Pete Rose. I want him in the Hall of Fame, but just enough.
Yeah.
He's a wispy. You'd want him away immediately.
Yeah. My brother's nemesis.
He's like a walking wrestling promo.
My brother's nemesis, Tuffy Kofelt. My brother's nemesis in high school.
Sounds like a character from the Christmas Story.
He liked Al Davis. Okay, he liked Al Davis.
The owner of the fucking...
Raiders.
Anyone who likes an owner, you got to be leery of that guy. That's the person who's going to become a fucking certified fucking accountant when you get older.
Oh, yeah, and he was
You look up to owners? Get out of here.
Tuffy Kofeld's father was a cop. I noticed with cop personalities, there's the jovial cop, and then there's the cop who's just like biting down on the toothpick, just like grinding his fucking teeth. And he was that guy.
Jovial cops do paperwork. Those are your paperwork cops.
Never said a word. And he had like mirrored sunglasses. He had an intimidating presence. I remember I did not like him. As a little kid, didn't like it when he was around.
Jovial cops end up tripping up the wrong people. You end up working as a crossing guard for the rest of your career. I'd be down though.
You know? Oh yeah. That's not a bad gig.
That's where I would trip up the system because they punish you by like, oh, you're going to rat out this guy for killing George Floyd. We're going to ruin your career. I would be like, I'm still going to rat you out, dude. I'm down for desk duty. Like, you ain't going to shut me up. Oh, you're moving me to crosswalk? I'll put more bodies on you.
I have no idea who this Cubs pitcher is. I thought it was Rick Russell initially. The whale. That's the era of Cub that I remember, late 70s Cubs. You know?
Let's see if we're still in some good baseball name.
That's what. Yeah, just Pete Rose. Pete Rose is still up.
He grounded out to the. Look at Ernie Banks. Couldn't handle it.
He booted it.
I feel like the Chicago fan in me wants to. Well, you know, he's getting older at this point.
You know, I mean, I like Ernie. Ernie was great in the late 50s, but you know something? He's getting a little long in the tooth, you'd say.
Long in the tooth, and you know he's black, and they don't got good teeth anyway.
Well, hey, I'm wondering though, Keith. Speaking of a certain franchise in Chicago, I want to hear your the signing. Two words.
Andy Dalton.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not as down on it as most people. I'm really not. I don't think he's that bad. There aren't many good quarterbacks. There's just not that many. And it's like, I think he's a serviceable quarterback. Oh, it's boring. Listen, man. The guy is a grizzled veteran. He's getting old.
Look, I think Ryan Pace is a white nationalist. I think he didn't want any of the black players. I think all of the
He's a
Hallis,
white nationalist
I think
owner.
the owners and GM, this is all conspiring. They're all Proud Boys. They don't want any quality talent, and we all know where that belongs.
Yeah, what that means.
They want Polish kids.
Yeah.
They want
red-haired kids.
fucking steam coming off helmets, grass. It's just the most stodgy. At this point, it's the kind of things that make you realize, like, I'm a fool. Like, you've been bamboozled.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Keith. You've been bamboozled. I agree on that.
How much money could the team make? And at this point, you're getting so much shit from the fans for making these bland ass boring moves. It's just such a Bears acceptance to be so excited, to have the owners themselves saying this is our number one target. You think if a competent organization publicly says this is our number one target, that kind of means it's a done deal.
They're going to draft a quarterback. They're going to draft a QB.
But they're going to have to, and then they're going to
Zach
trade
Wilson
up
or something?
No, Zach Wilson's going number 2 overall.
Oh, what number pick do
They'll have to get Mac Jones. They have the 20th overall pick.
That's a Bears draft choice. That's like a Cleveland Brown,
But I think
Brandon Whelan or whatever. I mean, they had so many.
I honestly
quarterbacks.
think I almost feel like Ryan Pace realized 2 years ago that he's a fucking buffoon and fucked up.
Yeah,
and is just kind of like blowing it to the wind, just saying like fuck it.
Well, Trubisky signed with the Bills.
But he sounds like he's got a goddamn stick of butter in his throat. I'm upset that I can't publicly like talk shit to him because he's pretty big. He can probably beat me up.
Who, Pace could?
Yeah.
He's
an athletic, younger looking guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a white nationalist. Let me show you a picture of the general manager. I'm showing the people.
I want to see what he looks like. I do, because I don't recall, because I don't pay that much attention to the Bears. I do by default.
Look at that. That guy is a proud boy.
Absolutely. He's part of the brain trust. He's on the fucking board.
He talks like this. Well,
where's he
we got a
from?
good culture, North Texas.
Where was he?
That's the sick part. He's from Texas. This guy knows football. He came through the New Orleans Saints system.
Organization. Okay.
I think it's a long-term plot by the Proud Boys and the New Orleans Saints and white nationalists. The New Orleans Saints are upset from the 2005 NFC Championship game when they got throttled. So they brought this guy, Ryan Pace, up through the KKK and the New Orleans Saints system. And then they were like, well, we got to feed. They were like, well, and then you become the GM of the Bears and you rot their system out and you make them Proud Boys.
So you're basically trying to spread the rumor that the front office of the Bears.
He's a white nationalist. He's a racist.
Are Proud Boy white? Yeah. He's got the hairstyle. He's a National Socialist.
He doesn't do so many press conferences because he can't not say the N-word.
Shut up. God.
Hard R. Papa John style N-word.
Doesn't end with an A.
This guy eats Papa John's pizza every night.
Come on.
Old school Papa John's.
That guy's a what is it with these pizza guy owners? The guy who owned Domino's was a big anti-abortion guy. Little Caesars is an abortion guy. Then what is it with these redneck, bizarre right-wing pizza guys? The pizza industry attracts a right-wing mindset.
So here we go, 1965 Chicago Cubs roster. Pitchers, Ted Abernathy.
Okay,
that's a great. These baseball names represent the generation. Ted Abernathy is a suburban, we're away from all the crime type of name. In the 20s, you had like Dizzy Buzzsaw and
absolutely. Or your trade was in there. Longshoreman Jim, it was like
Clay Shekels.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of their eras. Yeah,
like, let's look at some 1920s baseball names.
Well, you definitely know. I mean, with Jimmy Fox, Double X, Jimmy Fox. He was the only guy who could compete with Babe Ruth back then.
Wally Shang.
Yeah.
Pie Trainer.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think he played for the Pirates. I could be wrong. Pie Trainer.
Is that louder than normal? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, yeah. So it's, So again, should we go to Cubs 60s roster? I want to see their roster.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to do some comparison. So Bob Buell, 6'2", tall boys.
I don't remember these guys, man. It's like
Bill Fall, Bob Henley.
No.
I know Todd Henley, or Todd Hunley. I knew.
Yeah.
Bill Hoft.
Man.
Ken Holtzman,
absolutely.
Yeah, Brian.
He pitched for the A's and a couple of their World Series teams.
Larry Jackson, Cal Kuntz.
Man,
just what a bunch of Cub nobodies.
God, no kidding.
Jack Warner, the guy sounds like the producer of the Tonight Show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, wasn't he Warner Brothers? I don't know. So, wow, I recognize one of their pitchers. Holtzman pitched a
Dick
no-hitter.
Bertel was their starting catcher.
Oh, who else?
Ernie Banks, Glenn Beckert.
Oh yeah, well,
Roberto Pena and Ron Santo made up the infield.
Beckert was actually an okay player, I think. He was okay.
John Bocabella, hey, you motherfucking loves me.
Yeah.
Let me date your sister. Let me date your sister.
Come on.
I already fucked her. Twice. Smell my fingers. Shit.
Again, your voices are good, man. Well done, Keith. But who was? I wanted to see Glenn Beckert's. I wanted to see.
That's
his
one of my
stats.
impressions that doesn't work at work. Is I always say aioli is fucking mayonnaise's Italian cousin. It's your cousin aioli. You know, come on back. You know, we smoke a joint.
Hey, come on out.
Let me rub myself all over your chicken. It'll taste good.
So this outfield. Let's see the outfielders. I want to hear what
George Altman, Doug Clemens, and Billy Williams.
Well, Billy Williams obviously was good.
No one promising
they
off
weren't
the
that
bench.
good.
No, they were really terrible.
And what was the record that year?
Fucking garbage and
I'm gonna
shit.
guess. I'm gonna guess a record. I'm gonna say it was 68 and 94. I have no idea what it was, but I'm gonna say I bet you it's better than that. I'm gonna say 73 and 88 or and 89. 73 and 89. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Third baseman in close. Big swing.
God, I love that. This guy's voice is great.
The Chicago Cubs were 34 and 26
at this point. At this point in the season, I mean, what were they for the entire year, though? You know, for the 1965.
Oh no! Wait, I gotta go back.
Off.
That was 2020. This is 2020. What the fuck?
I was totally
off. What the fuck, Google?
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Hold on, we gotta do a schedule. Okay. Baseball almanac is being finicky. Okay, here we go. We'll go. They tied 2 games. What a fucking decade.
So what's their overall record?
72 and 90, 72, 90 and 2.
What did I say?
Yeah. You called
I said
it
73
just by
89.
the look of these fucking boring ass out there, like a bunch of fucking dull broomsticks out there just swinging other broomsticks.
Well, 65, that was the year that the Dodgers won. The Dodgers won it in 65. Yeah, they beat the Twins. They beat the Twins in a 7-game series. Billy Martin was the third base coach of the Twins. But they had Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale. You know, and then the Twins had like Tony Oliva, a very young Rod Carew was on that team, you know? He was the Wade.
It looked like he couldn't hold up the bat. Like he just was barely at the last minute, and then he would get up there.
Yeah. He was the Wade Boggs of his generation. He was a singles. He had one season where he had over 100 RBIs. He was 100 on the button in 1977, the year I achieved sports consciousness. He was the AL MVP in 77.
You know what I realized that like. Because you always talk about your sports consciousness. Mine is definitely like 95. I don't remember any sports before 1995. The only thing I remember pre-95 is a cover of TV Guide with Mike Ditka on it because he just got fired. I was a kid in that sense. I actually liked that I wasn't.
You were young.
I always thought that I was way older than I was. Like I always had a feeling that shit passed me by. Like I look back on, like I would say, 1995. So when I was like 7 or 8, I became a hardcore sports fan.
Yeah.
At the time, I remember being like ashamed of like, oh, I'm just getting into this now.
Oh, don't feel. I mean, that's just the age. Don't judge.
And then even with comedy, I wanted to start when I was I did it for the first time when I was 17, but I started when I was 23, and I remember thinking like, I fucking should have started. Like I'm already way too old to start doing this.
It's funny when I first started.
I always feel that way of just like, well, this passed me by.
Yeah, exactly. You know, no, I remember thinking that way when I was. But then with comedy, I remember thinking I was glad that I had a college degree, that I'd gone to school and I worked a couple of years, because I thought the people who had started it when they were younger, they were more fucked up in the head. I felt that they had been exposed to it at a younger age, and their identity wasn't formed enough, so it warped their ego.
I would like to see if on the second broadcast of the Cubs, they immediately realized that this was the worst fucking camera angle of all time.
This might be I mean, is this the first color? Is this the first color broadcast? Is that what this is, 65? Because they must have been on TV before this. I mean, TV was around in the 50s. It says
first WGN Cubs at Chicago, original WG. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't think it's the first. Though.
Yeah, the first.
It's
had to be
just
in
an
the
original
50s.
broadcast.
WGN is
definitely pre-Jack Brickhouse. It sounds like
literally WGN was such a big network. It almost was the size of like an NBC or a CBS. Like it was definitely a large independent station that had its own sort of identity.
Nobody's bigger than us, Jack.
You know, I mean, that was very much Chicago was still trying to compete with New York. You know, I mean, we're gonna have big stuff here too. That's why.
What an interesting time. They were just. You know when they talk about like we have like a corrupt system, all our systems are corrupt?
Yeah.
This is when it was starting.
You know. Well, I
mean racism is deep.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
day
that.
one, yeah.
Talking about like crack.
Well, certainly the drug, people, the alcoholism back then was hardcore, and people were smoking cigarettes like they were going out of style, man. Everyone smoked cigarettes back then, man. So, I mean, there was definitely the addiction thing was going on. But yeah, the drug, I think of the 70s as being that's when Coke came into the game, was much more sort of known, and much more of a thing. I think in the 60s, if you did Coke, it was
I knew Coke from the get-go.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I never, I just, the high, I didn't mind the high. Maybe I've been coked up maybe 20 times in my life. I just didn't, I don't know. I never sought it out. I didn't like my hangover the next day, because inevitably you can drink like 15 beers.
It's like fucking ecstasy. It blows every endorphin you have.
Yeah. And so
all at once. You wake up feeling like you have no fucking joy ever in life.
Yeah. I remember just a few times being like, I don't like so much of the body thing. It's the emotional side of it that blows of a hangover. Booze hangover, I don't like that either. I get a little fog-headed. That's why, I don't drink as much, man.
I feel like after 9 practice swings, they should call a strike.
Yeah. He's warming up here, I say. So who's the pitcher?
What is your wild ways to make the game better? I think after the 7th inning, they should set a deadly predator loose on the field. Like a crocodile or something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing fast.
Yeah, okay.
2 rattlesnakes. Just loose. Set them loose off into the corner bullpen. When you call your first reliever, a panther also comes out with them. And if he eats your reliever,
it happens.
You better have 2 guys going. Better have a guy riding that fucking lion.
Maloney. That's a bunch of Maloney, Keith.
Yeah.
No, it's Maloney. I think the Reds were starting.
Look at that guy. That guy looks like a roll of toilet paper in a baseball uniform.
The Reds were in the
just the whitest human being of all time.
the Reds were in the 61 series. Honestly, I think 60s baseball, in terms of like the quality of baseball, you could make an argument that was actually one of the best
athletes.
But it was actually a good caliber of baseball in terms of kind of the strategy. It was only 20 teams in the league, so now there's 32 teams.
Can you imagine if these guys were actually athletes?
Yeah, if they actually worked out in the offseason.
If they weren't just packs they're just human packs of baloney walking around
selling, Firestone tires in the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, literally these guys made like $8,000 a year, maybe 12. Like by the late 60s, guys were starting to make like 80 grand, by the late 60s. But if you were a shitty player, like, just starting the game, you were making like 12.5 a year in 1969.
Making that Brian Piccolo money, daddy.
Yeah, you were not making money. The unions helped tremendously. Baseball union was a big thing when that actually got together. Marvin Miller, who's going into the Hall of Fame, as well, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He helped create the baseball union, so they got a lot more money as a result. They were being exploited hardcore.
So in Brian's song, Gale Sayers does the speech where he wants the league to remember Brian Piccolo.
Yeah.
They also made a same speech at the machine factory where he worked, where he was just like, he played football, but I want you to remember him for being the best goddamn lug nut guy we had at this fucking factory.
Well, didn't you say your uncle worked with him?
My grandpa worked with him, and he said he walked like he had ball bearings in his shoes.
Just
because his knees were so bad. And this was a fucking 26-year-old man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He was not old.
No, absolutely. He'd had 3 kids. You started young back then. My mom, my brother was alive when this telecast was put on. He was a year old.
Hell yeah.
So the Reds.
Your brother was alive. Kurt Cobain was not.
Yeah, who was? I'm curious. Who was the Reds roster? Do you mind if you kind of figure
Do you mind? I don't mind,
because I want to actually. I'm going to figure out. They had Tommy Harper, who was actually pretty good. What their record was? I'm going to guess on their roster what their record was.
Well,
names.
they had Pete Rose, so they probably weren't good.
There was the American League and there was the National. Well, Rose was
Frank
great.
Robinson was on that team.
Yeah, and Frank Robinson was they traded
Guess
him in
their
the
record.
offseason.
Guess their record.
I got to see the roster first.
You can don't look.
I can't see that far anyway. So yeah, just who's on the roster? Kind of go.
So we got Johnny Edwards at catcher.
Mm-hmm.
We got Gordy Coleman. That's lingering from the 30s and 40s.
No shit.
Was he a
goaltender in the offseason?
Pete Rose at second base.
What did Pete Rose bat that year? I'm just curious. I can't see.
Let's see.
His batting average.
I'm looking 312.
Wow. How many hits did he have?
209. He never not had 200 hits. That was his benchmark.
I mean, he had a lot of 200 hit seasons though, without a doubt. So who else?
So then we have Leo Cardenas, Darren Williams, Tommy Harper.
He was good.
Veda Pinson.
Oh, Veda Pinson was a good player too.
Frank Robinson, and then you have Tony Perez.
Tony Perez, God, those are the beginnings of the Big Red Machine.
Yeah, he's on the bench. Like I just named you their starting lineup.
Because Perez was good on the. That's like guys would play on teams for like 6 years.
Don Pavlovich. Well, they weren't allowed to be free agents. They had you fucking chained to the dugout.
Yeah,
fucking.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And who's their pitching staff?
You have. They got them all in a hodgepodge here. We got John Maloney. Joey J, John Nuxall, Jim O'Toole, John Tisoris, Billy McCool.
God, I recognize none of those
Ted
names.
Davidson. Well, you shouldn't. These are all fucking average fucking Joes.
So I'm going to guess the Reds record this year, based on what we just saw. I'm going to guess, because Rose had a 209
Frank Robinson's
season,
a Hall of Famer.
And Robinson, although it was the last year he played for the Reds, he got traded to the...
I remember it, so we can go back
Orioles.
to the game.
And I'm going to say that team was 85 and 77.
89 and 73.
Okay. So it was kind of the opposite of the Cubs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so I underestimated
those uniforms look like it looks like they're sponsored by. It looks like not only are they sponsored by bail bondsmen, but it looks like a team of bail bondsmen.
Yeah, they're actually
playing baseball.
I think they were filming Shawshank. They were doing
and
Shawshank.
I'm doing this like Cousin Aioli. Fucking baseball.
Maloney. Yeah, this was.
You know why I invented baseball? Italians make wild statements like that.
He has it.
I couldn't ever conquer that. If the sun, like the putting the glove to cover your eye, but also looking through the glove.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm not good at catching fly balls. They put you in the outfield because it's the easiest fucking position. Not for me.
I know a lot of people said the same thing. I willed it into existence. I became a decent defensive outfielder. I could catch the ball.
3 inches, Crow.
I could do it right there.
This is like, what about Bob? 3 inches against the mic?
Yeah.
Look at these commercials.
Wow. Is this from 65?
Yeah. Wouldn't they just throw one from 80 in there?
I will say LSD was big at this time.
Well, yeah, look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
Who? That's the old-timey full-length bathing suits where you weren't allowed to show.
You're drinking Ham's beer.
This is another Ham's commercial. Ham's really went all in for the Chicago Cubs.
Interesting.
At this point in time.
Because Old Style is that's now the beer of the Cubs, I think of, right? Old Style being the kind of the...
Yeah, they don't have Old Style. No, that changed. That was a big to-do. They don't have Old Style. They changed the food. Wow. That's a big Chicago Midwestern thing. The brats are not the same. They used to have a snap to them.
A snap to them.
Now there's no snap.
You know, it's just not the same. I'll tell you what it is. It's also about $300 to bring you, your wife, and your kid to a game. It's incredibly expensive.
It's very expensive.
It used to be the working man's game. Again, I will go back to it, and I've said this before, and this is I'm an old man. But when I would go to County Stadium, and that's Milwaukee, so it's not going to be New York City. Go to Milwaukee. And
you can buy something with the change in your pocket.
The outfield seats, the bleacher seats, $2.50 in like 1989. You know, I'm almost 20 years old going to the game. You could go with like a $20 bill and have a totally good time.
Hell yeah.
Because you'd be able to buy beers were $2.50 to $3 a pop, $3.50 for a premium beer, like a Heineken. Ooh, a good beer was $3.50.
I love how that joke just translates generation, and they're like, my dad used to give me a $5 bill and say, bring me back change. And then it just ups. My dad used to give me a $10 bill and say, give me change. You're in the $20 bill era. And I come from the era of it's too fucking expensive to go to a baseball game.
Yeah, exactly.
You cocksuckers ruined it for me.
Well, I mean, obviously they made the decision. They're like, we're going to go for the money. We're going to make it family oriented.
You Gen Xers, the do nothing generation. I'm just kidding. That's what they call Gen X, right?
Do nothing.
The do nothing generation.
Yeah. Well,
you stood pat.
That's. You try being the generation after the largest generation in the country's history. You're trying to come out from underneath this behemoth, self-absorbed generation of baby boomers. 76 million fucking people.
Best economic times.
Of course we did.
But that's why you stood pat. That's why you stood pat. You were killing it.
I didn't stand pat. I was actually working for a fair housing agency that was founded by Martin Luther King because I was woke in 1993.
Look at Leo Cardenas just hit a home run.
I was using white privilege to take on white supremacy. I was aware of those concepts in 1993 too.
On pat.
I didn't just discover them and think, "Ooh, wow, I've done something different." No, I actually lived it. So just to let you know,
Crow stood on pat. He didn't stand pat.
Leo
Cardenas just hit a home run.
I actually did think you're taking on the behemoth of racism, and you're trying to take it on head on, suing people, winning millions of dollars in lawsuits, actually kicking them in the ass and doing that time and time
and
time again,
Kroshus
and getting death threats at the organization I worked at.
Trying to make a
actually
joke.
Doing something as opposed to canceling someone online and thinking that's activism.
I've never canceled.
So
anybody.
it's actually doing something. Because I have done that for almost my entire life. Has actually done something. So, but you're going up against the behemoth of this awful baby boomer generation that won't just die off.
Well, they're getting there. I mean, naturally, they're going to. They're all getting there.
The old boomers are dying. I got fired up there. I like the passion.
Yeah, I was trying to make a joke the whole time. You wouldn't let me talk.
No, I know, because I had to make my point, God damn it.
I was just making a blank. Again, me saying do nothing generation was a joke.
But
I clearly struck a nerve because you spent so much time doing nothing in the 70s. You got to be angry about it now.
Listen,
because you did so much. Because you did so much nothing in the 70s and I'm just kidding.
No,
you were just there watching the Minnesota, crying about Walter Payton.
I was. No doubt about that.
The behemoth of Payton.
You see, that's why
going at racism.
When BLM happened, when we were sitting here and BLM happened.
BLM to me, it sounds like a sandwich. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, I want one of those.
Want a BLM? Okay.
Well, I definitely want a Black Life. Everything they do is cool.
But
you can say the N-word. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. But when I watch it, this is the truth.
No more of that.
When I was sitting here,
that's been gone for 5 years, and it feels of the bygone. The bullpen off to the side.
Absolutely. I was getting choked up watching that because it bummed me out. Because you want to know why? Because I try to commit myself to social justice stuff through my career, what I've done. And it ultimately didn't make a hill shit of difference.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it didn't make a hill shit of difference. It's just the issue is still there, and it bums me out that it's still there.
Should have become
it authentically bothers
a police officer.
Oh God, they're the catch basin for all the failed social policies.
We do need some cops though to be the guys to be the fat thumb in the fucking in the belt where you're just like hanging out.
It's just,
dude, there were some fucking cops that drove through the park when we were doing the open mic and they were like laughing.
Well, hey, listen.
Some firefighters came to cut a homeless guy out of the bathroom and they enjoyed it. They had their axe swinging around.
What was he?
Some hot guys
was he
around
deceased?
The park. It was a whole group. No. He just locked himself in the fucking in the bathroom.
Rose is up again. Look, he's Petey Rose right there. Look at me. I'm playing baseball.
I mean, you can't see. The big jump in technology was discerning features.
Oh yeah,
off a player.
Absolutely. And look at this. This is like playing an early game of like baseball, like video game baseball in like the early, like late 90s or like early 90s, early 80s. Or like late 80s. You know what I mean? You literally, you cannot see. Okay, you can't tell. Yeah, you cannot see them. It looks, the color actually looks.
You sound
okay
like
to me.
my uncle talking about black people. You can't see them.
You can't.
They just disappear. 6:30 p.m. They just go away.
Oh, so bad. So bad. I remember a friend of my father's said that, and he was like, all you see is a bunch of smiles walking down the street. And I was like, holy shit. It's like, that guy's
That's
an
fucking
asshole.
hardcore and hack.
I was like, man.
It's a goddamn Burt Kreischer joke from 2002.
No, but this is like 89. I remember the guy saying that. I was like, God damn, this guy's a jerk. I didn't like him.
That was another hacky stepdad thing of the like, oh, all you see is teeth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a good set of teeth. You ever seen Tay Diggs?
Hot
guy.
Look at they're just at the game, tie and all. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you want to crack into some little bit of TV history?
Absolutely.
There's two big things. The one thing is exciting, but we talk about it all the time. The Godfather came out this week in 1972. It premiered.
It did?
Yep, 1972.
Wow. In March of 72.
March of 72. Movies came out random times. There was no fucking schedule.
Absolutely.
Godfather was in theaters for 9.5 years.
Oh, absolutely. I saw Star Wars is in the theater and this is for a solid 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Until like Empire Strikes Back came out, And I remember, I saw it 4 times in the theater. 4 was my max.
But we had 8 is Enough. I'll go to. So 8 is Enough and Three's Company all debuted.
Wow. I hated Three's Company.
So my mom hated Joyce DeWitt, I guess.
Of all the people
what a random hatred, right?
Joyce DeWitt.
Couldn't stand Joyce DeWitt.
That's such a random, weird person. Like,
dude, one time my dad was hammered and he was like in a fucking fuzz.
Yeah.
And he tried to tell me that he was like, yeah, your mom hated Joyce DeWitt. And he tried to make it seem like she didn't like Joyce DeWitt because she thought my dad might get with her.
Just some weird delusion.
Weird fucking Goldschlager induced delusion.
Wow. Or like a wishful thought or something. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. And I'm that way, obviously.
But this is something you could do now in a woke way, where like the plot to Three's Company is that they need a fucking full season.
Oh, look at these gags. All these actors. She just turned 74. Suzanne Summers. She was
she's very old.
Oh, think about
at this point has made more money off a piece of exercise equipment than she ever did acting. Step by Step, she did for free.
That's fucking Dick York from Bewitched.
Yeah,
or one of the Bewitched guys.
So that's Dick Sargent. That might be Sargent.
Yeah, it's Sargent. This is like
so. Jack Tripper's got to be gay to live with him.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. I remember that being like
now.
Whoa.
You need the gay guy. He would have to like Roper would walk in
if he wasn't gay. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Roper. That would be the plot now.
Yeah, I remember that being like,
I don't accept tenants that aren't homosexual.
The idea was that
that's Furley, right?
Yeah.
Furley's Don Knotts.
No, it was Roper. Yeah, Furley was Don Knotts. Roper they had a spin-off, the Ropers.
And it failed. And then they were like, well, we can't bring them back, so we'll just kill them off.
Yeah, and then we're going to have Don Knotts get a paycheck
come
for
in
a
and
solid 5 years.
And then they should have just had him fall in love with Jack because he was clearly another gay guy.
Yeah, he was an old, repressed gay man.
What if there was the moment in the later seasons of Three's Company where Jack is still pretending to be gay and they're just like, Jack, who are we kidding? And they just fucking meet
just
lips.
mash.
And they're like,
just deep male tongue kissing.
You've been pretending and I've been hiding.
Yeah.
Don't pretend anymore and I won't hide. And then they just smooch.
You know what's interesting about that, Keith? Here's where my mind went. The early episodes, he had to be gay for them to live together because they didn't want to have like fornication going on. Like literally, that was the reason why. Oh, he's gay. I remember that being like, whoa, that's a different plot twist.
They didn't want a straight guy living with two straight women.
Yeah.
They were like they're fucking having fucking masked orgies.
Exactly. And this is an early episode because Suzanne Summers was only on for a couple years. There were 3 different blonde actresses who played in this.
Yeah, there was Chrissy. Chrissy was Suzanne Summers. Then they got slightly smarter as they went on.
Yeah. Who was it after her? Yeah, because Suzanne Summers was making a career. Think about working on these sets. I mean, I'm sure the coke flew. Oh, what a glorious.
Well, I mean, and that's paper back there. That's fucking the quality.
What a glorious time.
Let's go over to 8 is Enough, though, and see what's going on there.
I think they're living in Venice Beach. I think that's where it's based. Because I remember thinking, wow, what a cool area you can ride your bike next to the ocean. Like, wow, California looks cool.
8 is Enough is like a more serious show.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of a family drama with some comedic moments.
Look at that. We got more fucking... Got Leaf fucking Garrett hair in this motherfucker.
You see, this is the teens. These are the teens. This is when you didn't know the sex of a baby until they were born. That was always a moment. It's a girl.
All the men look like undercard boxers.
This is how wholesome this song is. It's so square.
Who's that fucking guy? Who's that?
It's Dick Van Patten. He was in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty Buckley. I remember her. And I'm Grant Goody. Oh, these names. These names can't be their real names. Willie Ames, yeah, well, obviously. We don't know.
Willie Ames, probably a fucking Proud Boy.
Adam Rich, who had a huge drug problem. Huge. He's my age.
When you get to this portion of the credits, this is where your drug problems are.
Yeah.
Because they got a taste of it, which got him a taste of the...
Yeah.
And then they lost the show.
Late 70s, I think Coke was flowing like an undammed river out here. It was flowing like in the 80s was here. When I moved out here before in 95, it had totally died off. The Coke scene had, I don't want to say totally died off, but it was nothing compared to what it was. It was all heroin. Heroin was a big drug at that time. Mid 90s, Gen Xers, when they were busy doing nothing. When they were busy doing nothing.
Here, let me show this to you, because you've never. Let me see what a person who only really knows Nicholson and Cesar Romero.
No, I also know fucking Heath Ledger. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. I'm saying Joaquin, outside of that, I'm saying like the Jokers that are seared into your head, like because even Joaquin and Ledger, you were comparing to Jack Nicholson. So let me just see all those Jokers in your head. How do you think this fucking this is Jared Leto as the Joker, slightly tweaked.
Yeah.
He was a little more fucking Cuban Scarface in Suicide Squad.
So he's a
to set up this scene, this is the 4-hour Justice League. This is a future sequence setting up the second and third Justice League movie that is not happening. God. So this is a dream sequence of like the world in apocalypse.
Post-apocalyptic world, yeah.
And Batman and the other heroes are like on this journey. Lois Lane's been killed. Superman is under the influence of Doomsday. So they're like fucking walking around in Jokers with them. And
because they know Superman is the guy they have to really get, right? He's the strongest.
Here's the thing.
Strong,
this is what's frustrating is this is the end of the movie. This isn't important. Like this scene almost shouldn't be in the movie because it's setting up something that is not going to happen. So even the whole like debating about it is like, but it's a good performance. Here we go.
Let's go. Let's see.
He knows exactly what it's like to lose someone he loves. You know, like a father, like a mother.
Be very careful.
Look at Batfleck. You want to hear Batman say "fuck"? You're about to.
Like an adopted son.
He's talking about killing Robin because the Joker killed Robin.
Isn't that right, Batman? Maybe, in a way, that smelly old flounder is right. Because how many can die in your arms before you grow numb to death?
That's not very careful.
Now, how many dead eyes can you look into?
Stop making fun of me. Stop it. I've been dead inside a long time.
That's Affleck, right?
Yeah. You can tell too the scenes where he's not an alcoholic because he did reshoots. Him and Jared Leto weren't in the same room for this scene.
Besides, who's gonna give you a reach around?
It's rated R, so they could do those jokes. They made this rated R. There's 4 specific fucks.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? That make you want to watch it?
This world you created by
Leto's a good actor. Leto is a good actor. He genuinely is a good. I mean, he's a solid actor.
It's the face tattoos that threw everybody off. He's pretty much this guy in Suicide Squad, but with face tattoos and silver teeth. He's got like a grill in it. They make him all hip hoppy. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I often wonder.
Because the Joker, the icon character of the Joker, I mean, it is a theme in storytelling 500 years ago.
America in general has an obsession with clowns. With like scared ass clowns.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there's that. The clown was a creep.
So as usual,
I think magicians got they kind of were able to literally hide themselves and they projected we should actually hate magicians and not clowns. I think clowns have gotten the short end of the stick. I actually like a clown. Magicians, they creep me out. Magicians creep me out.
Well,
they're all pedophiles in training.
Clowns got the short end of the stick, but then a magician will grab it and pull out a bouquet of flowers.
There you go. See, I think the clown is gets a bum rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was the most popular guy on his block.
I think but magicians are creepy.
But let's be honest, John Wayne Gacy was a clown because he wanted to have sex and murder children.
Oh man.
He didn't have the laughter in his heart.
But yeah, that is pretty amazing that he was a clown. That's pretty incredible. It's pretty amazing. Do it slower.
He loved raping and murdering so much that he became good at being a clown.
Did you watch it? That's what I watched this week. There was a good. What's it called? What's the channel?
I'm gonna get a laugh for the drop.
Okay.
I mean, you can talk.
No, it's okay. I was watching
he doesn't do it yet.
A documentary, a 2-hour documentary
about how
Gacy,
gay you are.
On Gacy, and then also on what's his face, on this guy from Houston. I'd never heard of, a serial killer, the Candyman in Houston. And
the black guy with the hook that has bees follow him?
No. There was a guy who worked at a candy store who was this, whatever. He was a sadist pedophile.
Here we go.
And it was back when, like,
gotta get that laugh. It looks like a.
Is he Marilyn fucking Manson? What's going on here?
It'll be a hard one.
Well, so what?
He looks like
happened?
He looks like he's in a mariachi band. No, that's Doomsday. This is in a future where Doomsday has taken over the Earth.
Oh, okay. So now these guys have to like.
Yeah, they're the last ones left, and then this is gonna end with fucking Doomsday Superman dropping in because he's all upset that every iteration in the comic books where fucking Superman loses his mind, it's always because Lois Lane gets killed.
Yeah.
You think they would just learn to not do that? Don't let her die, because then Superman will snort fucking kryptonite and become evil.
So this is, I have no idea who Trident Girl is.
That is Aquaman's girl. That's Amber Heard.
So who's that dude?
That's Cyborg.
Oh God! I tell you what, I feign
Cyborg's a human computer.
Feign anger. They're okay. I guess these movies are okay.
Cyborg's whole deal is he was a professional football player. Yeah. That got mangled in a car accident, and his dad took alien technology and brought him back to life. So now he's like a computer. Like he could visually just go into your bank account and put money in it.
That's like a superpower?
Yeah.
So this is
not Jet specifically, but he's a computer basically.
Yeah.
He can link up. This is, you could tell Affleck post alcohol. Look how chiseled he is.
Yeah.
He's got fat bloated cheek face in the earlier scenes.
Yep.
And then now look at him, dude.
You can tell he's about 20 to 25 pounds lighter.
Just had a quick divorce sex session with fucking
with Jennifer Garner.
With Jennifer Gardner. She came and picked up the lad and fucking gave him a blowy.
He was dating that beautiful woman from Blade Runner 2049. The sort of whatever the animatronic lover or whatever of of Ryan Gosling's character,
Yeah.
He was dating her, I think, until a couple months ago. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
She's of course she's an actor, for crying out loud. So who's this? Is this Doomsday?
That's Martian Manhunter. He's basically the one. This is him telling, because that sequence we just saw with the Joker, he has been having those dreams all movie.
Yeah.
So he's having these premonitions, and Martian Manhunter's being like, that's actually the future.
Yeah.
You're not done. Darkseid is coming. Because in this one, they just stopped Darkseid's like henchman, like the one guy.
Okay.
And then that's Martian Manhunter being
but
like,
then it's going to be
shit's
really
about to get real.
big now. We're going to make it even bigger. It's going to be great.
I guess the one thing we've pretty much covered anything. The one thing we need to cover real quick, the dude from Alien died. The black guy from Alien died. I thought of you when that happened specifically. I know him from Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. He's like the sleep therapy doctor.
I like him getting a check like that late in the career. I thought you were going to say Midnight Run, because he's in Midnight Run.
He is
too.
in Midnight Run.
He plays that FBI guy. He's like fifth billing in that, seventh billing.
He looked awful though. He was clearly, he was a Bond villain.
Oh yeah, he was a Bond villain in the first Roger Moore in Live and Let Die. What does it matter to you when you got a job to do? He dies. Yeah, I mean, that was like that movie. If you want to see racist, you got to pop on that. That movie is racist. cyst. I mean, it's like when they go to Harlem. It's that guy from the 7-Up commercials. Oh, that black guy. Oh,
yeah. He ended up looking like
there's a voodoo motif in it. Jane Seymour is 19 years old. She's the woman. Like the
he
love
ended
interest.
up, dude. But what was his name? Yahoni, whatever the fuck.
Yaphet.
Yeah.
Kato.
Yeah, Yaphet Kato.
His high watermark, I think, is Alien. He's great in Alien.
Well, yeah, he looked the best for sure for Autumn. So this is another thing too, and I'll close. This is my Justice League thought. Everyone's so hard on Scott Snyder because his movies Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
his movies are so like sad and dour, and he's always got fucking Morrissey songs playing over action scenes. But
when is now?
So in 2018, his daughter committed suicide.
Ugh.
And I would imagine she was pretty depressed leading up to that.
Yeah. I don't think it had been an easy childhood and teenage years.
I would venture to say that this guy hasn't had the best decade and a half.
Yeah.
So let's back off his balls about the tone of his movies.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then DC basically realized that they were pieces of shit making him leave the set after his daughter committed suicide.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, we'll give you $90 million to make your cut of the movie. I think they need to give him, let him make his 2 movies after this. Again, his daughter took her own life.
How'd she kill herself? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oof. Yeah, man, that would be.
She was only like 20 though, or something like that.
Yeah, as a parent, that's like your kid dying. Having experienced that with my brother and his son dying, it's a comedy show.
There's an agent though that was just like, are you sure you want to totally leave the set? I love how I made him Jewish.
Exactly.
That's every agent I've met in Los Angeles has been a slick young black guy.
I believe it.
I've only met agents. Only met agents at Dave Hellam's black comedy show.
Yeah, the whole. What was my point I was going to make about that, man? I was going to make that point about this. Oh yeah, death, suicide, kid committing suicide. That's worse than even a kid dying. Kid dying in an accident, obviously horrible. You don't want to ever do that. But suicide, I think there would be so many unanswered questions. I think in a parent's mind, I think that would be probably the worst thing to deal with. I love how you threw the probably in there, just to give yourself a little leeway. But just I'm just trying to think, would there be another example?
I don't know. My cousin had his daughter fall out of a moving car.
Oh God. Yeah.
Baby.
Ooh, yeah.
So
yeah. Well, that's why my brother.
Lee Snyder got 20 years with old Autumn. You know what I'm saying?
I think it doesn't matter what age you are. I think when you're in your 80s and you have a kid in their 60s and they die of a heart attack, which happens, I think it's still like this weird because it's just like so unnatural. Obviously, that like no, you procreated.
Well, you know what they say.
To go before them.
A parent should never bury their child.
Exactly. Yes, that's the theme of the Zack Snyder. I thought that was an okay scene. I like that. I mean, his acting was decent.
Well, we covered about everything. I think that's the episode.
We did.
Did you have fun?
I had fun.
Did you have fun?
You know what I was happy about?
5 people saying they did.
I want.
They're the important 5 people, though. We got 40 solid listeners.
Yeah, I got to share it more. I don't know why.
Also, by the way, the camera that you're seeing the credits roll with bought with pay-per-view donations. We got a $50 donation, by the way, this week.
Wow. That's a threshold. Yeah,
it's a threshold, and now someone's got to top it. You gonna let someone fucking be the only $50 donation out there?
Yeah,
you make the pay-per-view donation.
God, what a nice thing to do. Appreciate
it is
that,
nice.
Well,
with that, Crow, you know what it's time for. It's time for to
wrap it up.
The ending song here. Take off the filter so it doesn't sound like shit.
Exactly.
You got anything to plug? You want to read your script while we end the show?
Man, no. It got distributed this past week for the first time. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. What a way we'll see what happens. I think that should be the way to end every episode.
At this point, I put my back and I'm going to be curious to see if it gets read. And then if it does get read, what the feedback is.
You got 20 seconds before I...
So.
All right. KeithPazel.com. Keith Pazel on all social media. Yep. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Insecure
we love
comic.
you.
Bye.
No love tonight in this city, and here I thought